Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome under the roof here at Marvel Stadium. It is North Melbourne playing their first home game for the year, the West Coast Eagles. My goodness, I've never seen a team sheet in front of me that looks like an absolute dog's breakfast. You'll have to give us about 5 minutes just to get adjusted. There's jumper changes. There's players we haven't seen play at the top level before. Will it inspire the Eagles on the road against the odds to win against adversity today? North Melbourne, a great opportunity. It's magnificent to have you here on AFL Nation for Red Energy. Moving house, you can call local energy retailer Red Energy and Regional Development Victoria. Brett Phillips leading the team, Josh Jenkins and Liam Pickering. I'm surprised to see you here, gents. I thought you might have got the call up.
Well, yeah, the West Coast Eagles, geez. Yeah, they've had to go far and wide to get their players. But anyway, they've got a team out there, so they're going to give it a go this afternoon. And well, in Perth, the people that are listening in Perth, in the morning over there, they're going to have breakfast and watch this. So let's hope for a really competitive start.
Yep.
I mean, I think North Melbourne will be disappointed with how they played last week, so I expect a response from North Melbourne. But the West Coast, who were pretty good against the Gold Coast, I thought, last week, certainly for three quarters. I just don't know we don't know what we're going to get, do we? Really, let's be honest, JJ.
We might see the end of structures, the end of game plans and game styles. If the Eagles come out here and these top-up boys just throw caution to the wind and just play the game that the way they know how when they were kids, maybe it's the end of the coaching. That'd be nice.
Expect the unexpected. Anything can happen this afternoon. Before we dissect a little bit more, let's get into some odds. Let's get the latest odds update.
It's time for an odds update. Thanks to Sportsbet. Sportsbet's bet with mates. Gamble responsibly. 1-800-858-858.
Here we go. North Melbourne taking on the Eagles here. Now, these two teams have only matched up once at Marvel Stadium since 2010. And the Eagles, well, they got up by 47 points. But it's a very depleted Eagles side that we see today. And it's reflected in the head-to-head market with the Eagles pushed all the way out to the $4 quote. Now, absolutely anything could happen in this contest, but the only thing that we can be sure of is that Aaron Hall is going to get his hands on the footy for the Roos. Now, he's averaging the second most disposals in the comp over his last 5 games, and he's $2.80 to rack up the most in Group 1. So if you look for most disposals, Group 1 in the app, you'll be able to find it there for $2.80. I reckon he should be a fair bit shorter than that with the type of footy that he's been playing. But it's a depleted Eagles side. North Melbourne should get it done, but we know to never be able to expect anything from this North Melbourne side. So maybe the Eagles are a bit of a price at $4 there, but it's Aaron Hall for most disposals, the better the game. Enjoy and gamble responsibly.
All thanks to Sportsbet. Gamble responsibly indeed. 1-800-858-858. We'll be taking calls all weekend on the Kogan Open line. You can make the call, switch to Kogan Mobile from just $2.90 for 30 days with a big 20 gig of data. And AFL Nation calling every game this weekend. And you can also watch your team every game, every round on KO Sports. It is our pre-game show for Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops. Answer the Camel's call. Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops. Both teams just in their last warm-up for Ream. Ask your plumber to install a Ream steady, hot and strong. Roof closed. Ground looks magnificent. The Kubotacast forecast. Together we are shaping and building Australia. Pickers?
Well, I'm just having a look at Jackson Nelson out here for the West Coast. He's hobbling before the game, number 30, just out here.
Not another casualty.
Yeah, he's got the limp up, so I'm not sure what he's done in the warm-up, but he's looking at his knee and his calf, so let's hope he hasn't done an injury in the warm-up. God, they couldn't lose another soldier, surely.
All right, he's just around the cones at the moment. A couple of the medicos just checking him out. We'll keep an eye on that. Josh, give us an unmissable moment this afternoon for Drinkwise. Choose to Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you Drinkwise.
Well, I'll tell you what will be unmissable for Eagles fans is if they can get off to a hot start, and that will really, really put the blowtorch on North, because they put forth a lacklustre performance last week. It was a loss for one, but it was an ugly loss as well. So if the Eagles can scorch early, then look out North.
Signet powering the commentary team for the upcoming game, so stay charged with Signet. Tyre Power Tipping is back in town this year as well. You can play SEN Tyre Power Tipping and join for your chance to win weekly prizes, including the major prize of $5,000. Sign up now at tipping.sen.com.au. Ground report for Pope, the better way to water. Looks very, very nice indeed under the roof here. Pope's Drippies makes drip irrigation a breeze. Let's get the final word from our expert. Pickers is here. Josh is here as well. And you're seeing things when I was looking down, just going through all the notes here.
Shouldn't laugh.
He shouldn't laugh, but it sort of sums it up.
He's out. He's out.
Jackson Nelson.
He cannot run.
He can't run.
Well, I'm just looking over.
He's with the hands of trainers at the moment. Now, this is I don't know if he'll be subbed before the actual balls bounce, but he's not going to play, I wouldn't think, just on what we're seeing.
Dermy's down there. They might need to give him a jumper. He's closest to the huddle.
He'd put one on too, Dermot.
He would.
I'm stuck in 149 games. I might head down.
We may as well. You can sit in the goal square.
We'll just mic you up. Just do the dual roll today.
I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to
Very hard, 'cause
today.
I won't be running much.
What I'm really looking forward to is seeing Keanu Reeves off a half-back flank really turning it on from the replacements.
You've got to give us a chop out today. I tell you what, this team sheet looks like
It's
something I've never seen.
BP, you haven't even got the full one. There's about 8 more numbers here that are on the back.
I know. Let's get the final word, gents. Let's set up the ground today for Buy My Stock. Got excess stock? Visit buymystock.com.au.
Well, I mean, it's chaos for West Coast, but North Melbourne, their job is to focus.
Yep.
Don't worry about what West Coast are doing. There's still going to be, eventually when this game starts, maybe a few minutes after, there'll be 22 fit and healthy players wearing West Coast jumpers. But North's job, after the performance they put in last week, is to play their game style, play exciting, play with some flair, play with some vigour, and get the 4 points any way, shape or form.
Well, they haven't been able to have a win. Even in the pre-season, they didn't get a win, North. They got touched up by Melbourne, then they got beaten in their next game. And then they've come out and put in a pretty poor performance first up. They're already down here looking at the magnets because Nelson's coming off. He's not going to play.
He's done.
So they're going to have to try and find another replacement player if they can. I'm not sure who's sitting down doing the boundary down there, but there might be Doc Peter Larkins might come on, or one of those type of characters down there that can come and play and top up for the West Coast, because Nelson's gone straight down the rooms here. So they are another player short here, West Coast, which is so unfortunate. But yeah, I'm with you, JJ. North, it's really about North now. They need to get their eye on the footy early, really bodyline the ball, get the ball moving, and try and play a bit of a different style than they played last week. They had no structure last week. They were very slow moving the ball. Outside of Aaron Hall out of defence, they were very stop-start, and they gave their forward line no chance last week. It got in there that slowly. It was easy pickings for the Hawthorn defence.
Well, you'd imagine Luke Edwards comes in, so he was the medical sub, so he'll come into the 22, you'd imagine, and they'll just be sort of trying to work out who they can bring down from the third stand. Hopefully none of the boys are having a 4 and 20.
I'm not sure they would have I don't think they would have bought too many more than the team.
There's a risk. Apparently, if they contract COVID over here, they can't go home. So they wouldn't have wanted to have brought too many. So
Simo might play. Captain coach.
There's 7 or 8 Eagles officials in blue jackets, and they're noticeably uncertain. They are noticeably, the AFL officials they're trying to work out who's who and what's going on, and you got to feel for them a little bit. But there's a game of footy going to start at 1:10 and
in 2 minutes' time, we're on, JJ.
We'll just fly by the seat of our pants.
Just gonna have
That's how it's going to roll this afternoon. Our pre-game show for Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops. Answer the Camel's call. Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops at AFL Nation for Tyre Power. Tyre Power save $100 on those magnificent Cooper four-wheel drive tyres. And for McDonald's, footy's back, and I'm loving it. Never miss a single goal with McDelivery. Both teams in their huddles, not too far away from the start here. North Melbourne and the West Coast Eagles, of course, as the guys mentioned in crunch time a little earlier, Kyron Hayden out, Tom Powell gets a reprieve back in to the North Melbourne team. West Coast missing their star midfielder Andrew Gaff, leading possession getter in that loss to the Gold Coast last week, and then of course all the names due to the COVID health and safety protocols.
Goldstein's going to start forward, which is interesting. I know they've got high hopes and big raps on Cherry, but in a game where, as we've said, they just must win, I would have thought they might have just gone to their old warhorse and thrown him in the middle and said, just get us started, big boy.
It's interesting, isn't it, Josh? They went to 3 rucks last week, leave out Colbin Jones.
They started Goldstein on the bench last week.
Yeah, well,
kind of trying to phase him out.
Yeah, well, they had a lot of faith in Coleman Jones. He was poor last week, Coleman Jones. I'm not surprised he was dropped.
They're just about ready to go. Opening bounce for Tyre Power. Save on those magnificent Kumo tyres. Store-wide super sale is now on. What an opportunity for North Melbourne, but also for the West Coast Eagles. And we know sometimes adversity can produce unbelievable results. Opportunity to perform and win in adverse circumstances can get the best out of a team on the road. Let's see what this game brings up this afternoon. Under the roof, there's a good contingent of North Melbourne fans in.
Well, what we're waiting for here.
Just about ready for a start.
I think
big build-up, and then everyone was on the seat of the edge of the seat, and then There we go.
The extra Eagle, I don't know who that is. He's just got the warm-up top on. Who's just come to the back of the
I
bench.
think that's Edwards who has to stay as sub.
Right. Okay. Here we go. Let's get this one underway. Sherry in the ruck. Now Petreski Seaton on the bottom of that pack, and we don't get out of the centre circle. So umpire to reload again. Tim Kelly, Davies Uniacke side by side. Here's Cherry trying to release the handball. Greenwood, always tough, puts his head over the footy. Spirals one towards half forward. Marty going back with the flight. McGovern came back with a fist. Now Kelly off half back will distribute by hand back to Hearn. Hearn will spread it wide. It was a good kick, just a drop mark in the end for the West Coast Eagles. That is young Stephen Gero, the former Docker.
He's listed as 48. He's now wearing 22.
Yeah, he's changed to 22. Paddy Nosh has changed to 36. Braden Ainsworth has changed to 39. And Aaron Black has changed to 26. So let's roll with it this afternoon. Kelly's free kick given away. He's riding Simpkin too hard into the ground. So Simpkin to launch it. Not quite inside forward 50. There was just nothing quite on offer. So he's just squared the ball to Zeeble. And now runs off his mark. Drills it low inside forward 50. Collision of bodies. Larkey was in there. Shuey, good to have the star in Luke Shuey back in the lineup. Fingers crossed he can just play some good sustained footy now. Taken away by Rioli. Good kick into space to Ryan. It was just the fumble. Another good inclusion. We talk about the outs. There's some good inclusions, though, for the Eagles. Foot race on towards half forward. Hall and Ryan. The extra number comes across for North Melbourne. The gather by Scott.
Great effort.
Going back with the flight was Hearn. Put himself right in the crunch.
Terrific effort by Shannon Hearn.
And chip a little short ball to the wing. Eagles trying to build something to half forward. Kelly on the end of it. He's going to lower the eyes. It's a good hit to Rioli. He'll mark just inside 50.
Willie's been good early.
Yeah,
Willie.
we've got some clarity. So Declan Mountford is the late in.
Right.
A former Kangaroo, played a few games for the Roos. So gets his opportunity against the old side, and Jackson Nelson, as we mentioned, unfortunately goes out of the team. I think that makes 14 outs.
So Willie Rioli to give the Eagles the best start they could hope for. A little right arc run, 49. He's kicking the man on the mark. Ball ricochets in the direction of Petrocelli. Now the gather by Greenwood. He's Simpkin off half-back. And North can launch towards the Goldstein direction. He's got Hearn to deal with there, who kills that footy out of bounds. Neutral territory, far side from our broadcast box, and there is no score at this early stage. And we have gone, 2.5 minutes on the Makita clock, rule the outdoors.
I wonder how he could kick into the mark, man on the mark, because normally they give themselves a bit of room. It's nearly impossible to kick it in the man on the mark.
Jerry won the palm down. Davies Uniacke, no room to move at all. Simpkin trying to flick a handball off. Greenwood's always got the strength to at least get it out. But it didn't roll too far. Eagles pressed hard and locked that footy up. The last man to get up was Taylor for North Melbourne. Lots of players around the footy. Shuey hunting it. Fed it back in the direction of Naish. So Paddy Naish wearing the 36, of course, coming across from the Tigers. Gets his opportunity.
Risky this.
It was a risky kick. North Melbourne launching off half-back. Hall, Scott. And now Aiden Core getting involved. So the Kangaroos trying to set something up at half-back here.
This is where we want to see them a more distinct game style, some more direction. Just Core and Zeeble just chipping it side to side. At least want them to look forward.
So a chain of possessions across half-back. Bailey Scott misses the target, advancing it to the wing. Davies Uniacke trying to get away from Johnson. Later, really good tackle. Ball spills in the direction of the Eagles. Towards Darling and Zeeble, who wins the strength battle on this occasion. Poor kick, gave Darling no opportunity. Darling had the space to the outside, and he hooked it back to Zeeble's favour. Back to Josh Walker, back in the team, who spreads it wide to Polak, also an inclusion this afternoon. So North are parked at half-back. Kick close to the man on the mark. McGovern marks unopposed. Just a high sort of nothing ball coming off half-back from the Kangaroos, and McGovern goes short to Kelly.
The free in the pocket here, but
Kelly was not connected with the drop punt. It was a floater inside 50. Comfortable mark taken by Luke McDonald. Dangerous ball in ball, looking for Larkey. Stolen away there for the Eagles by Petreski. Seaton, who's hit the target. Great intercept. Liam Ryan's on the end of it. And a second chance here for the Eagles.
Skill level of both teams early in this match has been horrible.
It was great anticipation from Petrevski-Seton coming forward to defend, getting the spoil in there, and then ball ends up in the hands of Flying Ryan,
Who's this coming off injured?
worse than it's Petrevski-Seton, is it not? Just
Got a limp up.
a limp.
Got some
Looking for a bit of gas. Here's the
tape on that left
extra
knee.
West Coast player has finally been stripped.
So Ryan with a flying shot at goal goes across the face, and he's missed everything.
Mountford's just made his way to the bench, so he's the laid in. He's arrived, just still getting straight. He's getting his finger straps still.
It's all happening in front of us. Zaha with a big fly at half back. Couldn't take the mark. Marnie at the drop. Players hunt the footy. Tight pack. Bodies right over there. Some umpire's going to have to come in here. That ball's not going to get extracted out. So just metres inside the boundary line between wing and half forward for the Eagles. No score at this stage. We've travelled nearly 6 minutes. AFL Nation for Red Energy move with Red Energy Regional Development Victoria. One over the shoulder for Cherry, who'll release the handball off. And two minds young. Now Taron Thomas gets involved. Marnie, chain of handballs here from the Kangaroos. Zaha the kick inside 50. It wasn't beautiful off the boot, but it hit the target. And a shot at goal coming up here for North Melbourne, just inside 50.
We've played 6.5 minutes, and that's their first meaningful meaningful bit of ball use, North. So West Coast haven't been able to make them pay, haven't been able to put a score on the board. But
It's hardly been a shootout, though, is it?
No, West Coast have certainly looked better in the early
score.
stages.
No one's hit the scoreboard yet. Only 7 minutes of play.
So Jai Simpkin has got a couple this year. A little bit of a right arc, but he's pulled it left for a behind. That will be the opening score of the match. One behind the Kangaroos. West Coast yet to score. Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. Robot's got it. So the Eagles to put it back into play through Witherden. Just assesses the options. Runs out of his defensive goal square. He's going to come to our broadcast side. Trying to get it to the tools. Jerry competes in the air. Williams involved there for the Eagles. Now they are able to work it. There's young Giro, who kicks towards half forward. It's a good little spot-up kick to Ryan. He's got a runner coming past. Now Giro gets involved again. Back to Darling. He's got to go forward. O'Neill trying to cut a little path through. He was dapped. Giro was dispossessed of the footy. North Melbourne did nicely to win it back in their hands as Polak delivers a short ball to Curtis Taylor.
Just went one too many, didn't they, the handballs?
So Taylor runs off his mark. It's a high ball up the line. Zerha's got to go the defensive spoil. And there the Eagles will get the ground level ball. Petrocelli around the corner. Just past Darling. Ryan, a chance at the back of it, can land in here. He does. Keep it in. The magic of Ryan. He just needs to lower the eyes. Could have gone the shorter option. He's gone longer towards Rioli. He sees a hole, accelerates, dribbling goal. That is superb, Willie. Did it nicely. The Eagles kicked the first goal of the game. And that is a goal of the game contender for Host Plus. That's a plus. One straight, North Melbourne, one behind.
Well, we've spoken a lot about what they don't have, West Coast, but what they do have is they do have some match winners in their front half. With Darling's provided a good contest a couple of times, has been involved at ground level, but Rioli and Ryan have both looked really dangerous inside the forward 50, and maybe they isolate those two inside 50. A bit of a different look. North have got some tall defenders back there, and that was a very, very nice finish from Willie.
Yeah, the speed, isn't it? The Indigenous boys in the front half have been very, very lively early.
Liam
Ryan in particular, Willie Rioli, both great.
Plenty happening on the boundary. You've got to keep an eye on that
smile.
for Snaffle. Bite-sized payments win, because there's players getting strapped up. There's lots happening on that West Coast bench. Back in the middle we go. Eagles have kicked the first. Free kick, little high. It'll go the Kangaroos' way as the players remonstrate. Taron Thomas, the last to pick himself up. He drills it inside forward 50. Larky's on a strong lead. Had a fair piece of it. He butters up with the second effort. Away to Powell, who's kicked a grubber, kicked into the man on the mark. Here's Marnie. Trying to release it back to Powell. Davies Uniac, phone box to work in. North Melbourne trying to extract a kick in the Larky direction, but McGovern will cut it off. So McGovern will get the exit kick going. It's a half-back.
With a pressing hard here. Much to kick to.
Just got to assess the options. Now he does release into the Williams direction. Giro's at the front of the pack. He copped some attention. They do get the advantage to Tim Kelly, who grubs one towards half forward. Tough one for Darling. V. Walker, who holds his ground in that contest. Lots of bodies come in at half forward. And now North are able to win the ground level ball. Walker had his handball cut off as the pressure from West Coast just closing there. McDonald got involved, Walker again, and they do eventually get that kick out to Marnie, who's going to come inboard. There's a couple on offer. One of them being Lazaro. Davies Uniac, nice little sidestep. Larkey comes to him. That's a beautiful kick. Larkey pointed, and he said, just put it in front, and I'll do the rest.
Well, it was a decision to come inboard, which has set this goal up, or set this attempted goal up. Instead of being forced wide North, they brought it back in the corridor. I think it was Curtis Taylor. And from there, it's a lot easier to attack from there, from the middle of the ground.
Larkey always had his man turned around. He had the space in behind back to goal. It was just a matter of whether Davies Uniac was going to be able to spot him up.
Larkey on the runway, and he's kicked it. So North answer with a goal of their own. 11 minutes travel of the opening quarter. 1-1-7 West Coast. One straight Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. Robots got it. Pickers and Josh Jenkins looking after our analysis this afternoon.
Larkey he's 42 goals last year. He's sort of come into his body. His body shape's changed a fair bit. That was really nice forward craft. Got him behind his defender. Davies Uniac had space to kick. He hit back up. It was great connection inside 50 between those two. And Larkey looks set for hopefully a big day for Roos fans.
Yeah, he was not great last week, Nick Larkey. A really talented player, but didn't offer a lot. And Zerha was a bit the same last week. So both those forwards, the dangerous North forwards, will be hoping for a better performance today. And that's a good start by Nick Larkey. I like the way he worked his way to the front then. Mind you, it was a beautiful kick by Davies Uniac.
Goldstein won the tap. Taken by Greenwood, who measures a short one. It just didn't quite find the target at half forward. Duggan's got to work hard. Greenwood's butted up here. Another kick inside forward 50. Some metres gain. Marnie trying to keep his feet. He's bumped off the footy. Now North spread it back just to get a bit of space to go forward. Taken by Young. He received it from Zerha. Back to Taylor. Lowers the eyes. Taylor inside 50. Beautiful kick. Finds Greenwood.
And everywhere early, Hugh Greenwood, the former Crow and Sun. He's had 5 disposals and 3 tackles.
Gives it away to Young with a flying shot at goal here. It's going to go across the face, off hands. And it's a behind on the Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. 1-2-8 the Kangaroos. West Coast one straight here on AFL Nation for Icon Solutions that matter. Your national integrated property and service solution. Brett Phillips, Josh Jenkins, Liam Pickering this afternoon for the early kickoff on a Sunday. And West Coast have worked it to the wing. His target, O'Neilly, might be made to pay here. The Kangaroos got a few numbers as they go inboard. Young and Zerha, and now Scott. Larkey's the target. He's just underneath the footy, thumped away on that occasion by Big Jamison. Another new inclusion into the team for the West Coast Eagles, and once again their deep ball rolls into that right forward pocket.
A great kick by Barry Scott. He just didn't kick it to advantage at all. He just sort of drove it long, and it was the worst position really. The North forward was in front, coming at the player. Get over his head.
Umpire tosses it back in. Goldstein on the throw to Davies Uniac, who was charging through, and he's stopped in his tracks. Tackle sticks.
Should get a big advantage in the ruck, the Roos. Goldstein and Cherry versus Bailey Williams and Jack Williams. They've only played 10 games between them.
Goldstein on the palm down. Here's Kelly at the drop. He was able to work a kick out, but it might be coming back pretty quick. North don't quite hit the target. They're going inside forward 50. It's a foot race between Jamison and also Larkey trying to keep it in, but it does just trickle over the boundary line. So about 30 metres around from the Kangaroos' goal. They're 1-2-8. West Coast one straight. Now about 14 minutes on the Nikita clock. Rule the outdoors. Umpire tosses it in again. He was trying to flick it over the back there. Goldstein. Kelly was stripped of the footy. Now West Coast trying to clear. Kelly
handed that to him.
Now the short kick towards Darling. There's a A real daisy cutter. It just hit the grass. And he's locked up in the tackle. This ball came from the young man wearing number 26, Aaron Blake, of course. A few jumper changes. Goldstein won the palm. Young. He's set upon and gone. Great tackle.
Aaron Black, the young fella you were talking about, BP, he's on the veterans list.
Yeah, I know.
He's 30 in his first game.
Yeah. Young and not playing in that reference.
Well, this is
Drop mark by young Jefferson. As they were switching direction across half-back, the Eagles, Larkey just trying to feed it to Marnie. On the up to Lazaro. He's brought down the tackle. It's going to come back.
Free kick to Larkey for in the back.
Oh, you don't feel for the young fella there that dropped that. Who'd you say it was?
Jamison.
Jamison. It was
more a developing ruck who's playing key back.
Yeah, it was just one of those ones. It was just over his head, and he just couldn't control it. And, geez, he's got an open forward line. It's going to hurt, especially if Larkey can bang this home.
So Lucky with plenty of the uprights to look at here to try and kick his second and North Melbourne second. 40 from home. Umpire loves it right over his cap. They conceded the first goal. They've kicked the next two. The Roos 2-2-14 West Coast. One straight on the Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. Robot's got it.
Just a self-inflicted issue there for the Eagles. Young Jamison, who you got to feel for him in that situation. He turns one mistake into two, dropped the easy mark, and then fell into the back of Nick Larkey, who was able to go back and slot his second. I think Larkey would be feeling pretty good about himself right now. He might be sniffing 5 or 6.
He's got 2 already, so if he wants at least 5, I would have thought. They're going to get plenty of looks. You'll see that. There's been a few turnovers here in the last few minutes by the West Coast.
So we talk about the two Williams boys playing in and out of the ruck. This will be Jack Williams to take the bounce. 198 centimetres up against Todd Goldstein. Goldstein won the tap. For the ball, two Kangaroos take out each other. Ball out to O'Neill. Quickly it got to the wing. Rioli with the kick inside forward 50. Working his way to the front. It was a pretty good measured kick, and Petruccelli's underneath that one and taking on a 45-degree angle.
Just around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse. Great savings every day. The AFLW final, the Lions 10 and the Pies are 1 at quarter time.
So Petruccelli a chance to cut the margin back to 2 points. Need his best effort from here as he passes the 50, 45-degree angle. He's going to push that one across the face. Doesn't quite get the journey. Goldstein was there to thump it through for a behind on the Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. First blemish, Eagles 117, North 2-2-14.
Explain to me why the roof's closed today. It's 25, 26-degree day. Beautiful day.
It is.
Aaron Hall's got the kicking duties. He's gone right up the middle of the ground, and Sherry with the big fly took the mark. Most economical way forward, gives it to McDonald. He's going to release by left. It's a one-on-one forward of the footy. Good fly. Almost the mark taken by Davies Uniacke. 2 kicks inside 50 for the Kangaroos. And now they compete at ground level. West Coast bring the cavalry just to kill that footy over the boundary line. They'll have it tossed in.
Seems to be a perfect day to have the roof open, get a bit of sun.
Makes sense, doesn't it, Piggers?
Doesn't make a lot of sense to have the roof closed. I feel like we're playing at night. 1:30 in the afternoon.
Umpire tosses it back in. Davies Uniacke trying to read it at the back. And Francis is in there as well. Simpkin, the bodies. Marnie flicks it to Polak. Trying to get it out a little bit of space. Cut off though. Shuey. Now releases to Rioli. Chips it over the top. Darling's hit up. Pushing right up the ground to take this mark between halfback and wing.
Willie Rioli's been terrific early.
That's his numbers for safety, steals,
He's had
sheds.
5 and a goal already, Willie.
Darling, long kick. Ryan gets underneath it by...
That's a softie.
That's there.
That's a softie. Very lucky there, Liam.
Ryan kicks inside forward 50. And Petruccelli's marked it just an inch inside the boundary line.
They look good with these small forwards. Ryan, Rioli sort of kick-started that from up the ground, but Ryan, Rioli and Petruccelli look dangerous inside forward 50. So if Darling can sort of hit up, they might have something here.
Well, they've got a different game style, haven't they? They've only really got one key forward, which is Darling. He's playing right up the ground, so they're trying to open him up with some speed.
His last shot was on a 45-degree angle. He's outside the boundary line this time. He's going to kick towards goal. It just hangs out to the right-hand side. Missed by too much. Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. North Melbourne 2-2-14. The Eagles 1-2-8. Kangaroos have come up the middle of the ground again with the kick in. Thomas, there's no one inside forward 50. They're sprinting hard. He kicks for touch. He says, Larky, that's your ball.
Oh, he's kicking himself.
And Lazaro, but it might get the journey. It does.
Unbelievable.
Well, they've gone the most direct route. The last two kick-ins. The North have kicked their third. That brings the Blue and White Army to their feet.
That is a genuine host plus. That's a plus goal of the game contender. He almost... Aaron Hall almost got Taron Thomas killed because the West Coast defender was coming forward, just landed in the nick of time, took a bounce. He definitely lobbed it over to the running Larky. Just kept going.
Rolled on, didn't it? End over end, but he's a brave decision maker from defence, Aaron Hall.
Isn't he?
Yep. Because he will take it on, he will run and he'll carry, and his metres gains are always up around 800. And that is a very brave kick, but I'll tell you what, when you play a brave style like that and it comes off, you're a genius. When it doesn't, well, you're a bit of a mug.
So the Kangaroos looking to go forward again. Rioli dishes out the handball. There was the fumble on that occasion, and he might be bent here. I'm just trying to identify who the hell it is. I think there's a jumper change with... Who's 33?
I've got no idea. I've seen him twice out there. I didn't know either.
The Kangaroos with a chance. Inside forward 50, Polak. Grand level ball to be won. Young Giro.
He's been okay, Giro.
Loops the handball over the top. Under a fair degree of pressure. On that occasion was Ainsworth. And now the ball's back in North Melbourne's hands to Simpkin. Bailey Scott gets involved. They're flicking it by hand. Zeeble back to Scott. Petrocelli was giving chase. Long, high ball towards the wing. Young got hands to it. Rioli was right there with him. Off hands out of bounds like it tossed in.
He's been all right, Giro. Last time I ever heard the word Giro was during a Seinfeld episode. Remember that episode when he was getting on off the train to get a Giro?
Is that Mountford that's come on? I'm just trying to identify who Rory Pickers. I was thinking the two
Trying to.
No interest.
I haven't seen it.
It might have been a gyro.
Yes. So Kangas by 12 points. We've travelled 22 minutes. Nikita Clock ruled the outdoors under the roof at Marvel Stadium. Sherry and Williams to go at it in the ruck. Fumble on that occasion. A little bit of high contact at the same time. Well, can you just double check who 33?
Yeah, I've got them here. I'll write them down and I'll put them in front of you.
My team sheet hasn't.
Ainsworth it is.
Is it Ainsworth?
Yeah.
But I had him down. So someone told me he changed to 39 though, Pickers.
Listed 46 to went 33. So no, it's the one Benny Lyons just sent it through.
Righto.
I highly doubt Ben would make a mistake.
That's okay.
Again.
No, I might have written that down wrong.
So Dewar is wearing 39 now. Aaron Black is wearing 26.
So maybe they've swapped that number because
Giro is wearing 22 and Nash is wearing 36.
yes.
Okay, that's the group.
It's the Kangaroos trying to exit the back 50. It lands in the hands of Witherden. I'll say that with a bit of certainty. There's Witherden now. Will pop it up right down towards the hot spot. Fist in there from Core. Trying to kick it out of mid-air, the Eagles. And now the gather by Luke McDonald just inside the boundary line. It's a one-on-one forward. Suha just got underneath it. He lays the tackle on Hearn. Stuck it nicely. Ball stops. All locked up.
Love the way Luke McDonald did that in defence there. And he smothered a shot, a potential flying kick at goal, and then used it really well out of defence. He's a good player.
Jerry won it down. Horn Francis getting involved in the clinches. Greenwood's in there trying to flex his muscle as well. The gather by the Eagles towards half forward. Here's Kelly, went through his legs. Out the back. Now the kick inside forward 50 for West Coast there by Black, and it's been marked by Core. So Core will just square the ball across to the running Aaron Hall, who's looking to make something happen. Horn Francis gets involved. That's a beautiful kick to Lazaro. Away to Taylor. Taylor's kick towards Zerha. Fist in from Hearn, but he was good enough to win it at ground level. The second attempt to Goldstein. Hooks it around his body. It's a 2-on-1. Howe's got to get a little fist in. Only metres around for the North Melbourne goal. Now it'll trickle over the boundary line for a boundary throw in. 3-2-20 the Kangaroos. West Coast 1-2-8. Changes aplenty on the interchange in front of us. As Bailey Williams comes back in for the Eagles. Here's a snap by Greenwood. Looks pretty good. Just
been excellent, Greenwood, around the footy.
hit that.
I should have known you're going to get with him, do you?
Yeah, that's why Dave Noble loved him so much and pinched him off the Suns.
And they were asleep at the wheel, weren't they, the Suns?
That's a big loss. What he's been able to give them the last couple of years. Ryan with a fly. As the Eagles worked at the wing. Big tackle by Bailey Williams locks it up for West Coast.
Just unable to get their hands on the footy for the past 10 or so minutes, the Eagles. 60-38, the uncontested possession in favour of the Roos.
Josh Jenkins, Liam Pickering, our experts for buymystock.com.au. Polak, no room to move, dispossessed by Williams. Still a chance, Polak. He's just running it along that boundary line, little toe puck. Now it runs away from Powell, who's got a reprieve this afternoon with Hayden out of the team. We'll have it thrown in right in front of the interchange. Angus holding sway here by 13 points. Looking his way to the front, Cherry. Nicely taken here by Black. Distributes it to Kelly.
Well, Black,
Kelly's
well
got some space in front of him. He takes a bounce. Got Ryan on the outside. He loops the handball, hung for an eternity. Ryan will just a nice little sidestep if you don't mind. Long inside forward 50. O'Neill flew. Petrocelli was down there as well. And now the defensive efforts of Hall. He stripped of it. Rioli with the snap.
Wow.
Turn about. Talk about turning something into nothing. That's what Willie Rioli can do. With a right foot snap, he's kicked his second of the opening quarter. The Eagles cut the margin back.
Liam Ryan and Willie Rioli have been clearly the best two players for the West Coast. I mean, they've been superb. Especially forward to centre in particular. They've looked so dangerous. A great finish there by Willie. He's kicked a couple of beauties.
Yeah, that was another host plus. That's a plus goal of the game contender. I don't think it'll beat his other goal from this quarter, but he intercepted the ball, was getting tackled, kicked it over a defender's arms, and that was a beautiful snap on goal. And they look really dangerous, Rioli and Ryan ahead of the footy. Anytime they've had ball in hand, the Eagles have looked threatening.
Margin cut back to 7. Good to look at on the Easy Debit replay. Simple Payment Solutions joined Easy Debit today. Goldstein and Williams to go at it. Williams won the palm down. Kelly able to extract it nicely, found some room. Penetrating right boot inside forward 50. Big fist in there from Walker. Grand level ball to be won. 40 out from the Eagles' goal. And lay the tackle and hold that footy up. Nicely done by Ainsworth.
Been everywhere, Kelly. He's had 10 already.
Williams, Goldstein. Greenwood's at the drop. Goldstein butters up. Just chips it towards the wing. It's Taylor. It's Big Jamison. O'Neill comes across for a bit of support for the Eagles. He turns on his left side. High ball towards half forward, charging through Petreski Seaton. Now the Eagles get a kick inside 450. Ryan with a fly. Nicely weighted kick.
Kickers, they look dangerous.
Oh, that's some space.
They look quick. That's what they do look. The West Coast look so quick, and North, as soon as the ball hits the deck, they look like they're in all sorts of trouble in defence.
Hayden Core there playing small against Liam Ryan. He just doesn't have the agility and the dexterity that Ryan has, and Ryan was able to slip him just reading the flight of the ball. He didn't even lead for it.
So Ryan, good side for a right footer. He'll go past the 50 now. 45 from home. And that one just across the face, clipped the woodwork on the way through. Right on quarter time. That would have been very handy for the Eagles. But they've been competitive in the opening quarter. The depleted West Coast Eagles. North Melbourne 3-3-21. Larky's got 2 of those. Thomas, the other goal scorer. And Willie Rioli has scored the 2 goals for the West Coast Eagles. Running hot for Ream. Steady, hot and strong in the opening quarter.
Yeah,
you like most, Josh.
Tim Kelly on fire. 11 disposals, 3 tackles in the first quarter. He was brilliant. He also had a couple of clearances and 3 inside 50s. He was running hot and was absolutely brilliant around the stoppages.
We'll take a break. Big second quarter to come. We'll reset after this here on AFL Nation for Red Energy and Icon Solutions.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Tyre Power. Save on Kumo. Store-wide super sale now on.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. Check out National Tiles' all-new Italian and Spanish floor tiles on our website now. Your new home or renovation will look absolutely stunning in any one of the 25 all-new European floor tiles. Currently available for immediate delivery, but you'll have to be quick. These all-new stunning European floor tiles are walking out the door. So rush to order online or in-store at National Tiles now.
SMEG double your cashback sale on now at Designer Appliances. Get up to $1,000 cash card plus up to $1,000 Visa gift card on selected SMEG appliances. Designer Appliances, Bendigo, Camberwell, Heidelberg, Rosebud and Wantirna South.
Major building projects for the trade or a DIY home reno. Robot Building Supplies is the Australian-owned family-run business you can trust.
Robot's got it.
Robot's product range is vast and world-class. And when it comes to product knowledge,
Robot's got it.
Next-day delivery in Metro Melbourne.
Robot's got it.
Over 70 years experience and reliability helping Melburnians. Robot Building Supplies. Notting Hill, Sunshine, Preston, Dramana, Pakenham, Coldstream and Darnham. robotbuildingsupplies.com.au.
ROBOT, Robot Building Supplies.
When you're running a business, you're always working hard. Sure, you've got a team to help carry the load, but the buck stops with you. Makes sense then that you should use a payment solution that helps make getting paid easier. Easy Debit is the all-in-one payment solution. Whether it's direct debit for recurring or subscription payments, BPay for invoicing, FPOS, phone or online payments. When it comes to dollars, it just makes sense. Easy Debit. Payments done in one. Search EZI Debit today.
Rockstar Games' blockbuster Grand Theft Auto Online is now available for free on PlayStation 5. Chart your rise from the streets to criminal kingpin in a living online world with stunning new visuals, haptic feedback from the DualSense wireless controller, and more. Migrate your existing GTA Online characters and progress for special bonuses. Get GTA Online on PS5 for free until June 14th via the PlayStation 5 console store. PlayStation Plus required to play.
PlayStation. Sometimes needing new tyres can catch us by surprise. That's why Tyre Power gives you the power of Zip Pay and Zip Money. It means you can get what you need now, get back on the road safely and pay for it later, taking advantage of the interest-free periods. So if you need new tyres or mechanical repairs, don't wait till it gets worse. Get them now with Zip Pay or Zip Money at Tyre Power. No fuss, no wait, no worries. Terms and conditions apply. So visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local owner operator.
When my mates bring their plus ones, who bring their plus ones, we're gonna need more McNugs delivered.
McDelivery! Get dinner delivered with a 40 chicken McNugget pack and new spicy sticky barbecue sauce from Macca's. McDelivery available at select locations.
Ride the Storm in 2022 because the Melbourne Storm are back home at Amy Park. Are you getting behind your Melbourne Storm this season? Don't miss a minute of the Storm blockbusters this season. Sign up to be a Melbourne Storm member and enjoy footy with the whole family. Ride the Storm in 2022. Become a member at melbournestorm.com.au or call 1300 Storms or get your game day tickets at Ticketek.
Hi Australia, this is Sam Kerr, Australian football team captain and Chelsea FC footballer. Aussies have voted Mate as having the most satisfied NBN customers in the country in CanStar Blues 2021 Satisfaction Awards. Mate scored 5 stars in 5 categories, beating all its competitors. If you want award-winning Aussie service together with great value internet, then Mate has your back. Search Mate online to find out more.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. For all your tiling needs, in stock now.
And the corner, just past Darling. Ryan, a chance at the back of it, can land in here. He does keep it in. The magic of Ryan, he just needs to lower the ice. Could have gone the shorter option. He's gone longer towards Rioli, who sees a ball, accelerates, dribbling goal. That is superb, Willie. Did it nicely. The Eagles kicked the first goal of the game. He was come up the middle of the ground again with the kick in. Thomas, there's no one inside forward 50. They're sprinting hard. He kicks the touch. He says, Larky, that's your ball.
Oh, he's kicking himself.
And Lazaro, it might get the journey. It does.
Unbelievable.
AFL Nation highlights for McDonald's. Footy's back and I'm loving it. Never miss a single goal with McDelivery.
Quarter time, North Melbourne 3-3-21, West Coast 2-3-15. Josh Pickers, a quick word, what you've seen in the opening 30 minutes.
He's looked dangerous whenever Ryan and Rioli have the ball in their hands.
Opening bounce for Tyre Power, your match day favourites for tyre safety. So the Eagles competitive in the opening quarter. Plenty to play out here. They'll extract it again. Jones and Shuey Petrisky, Seaton getting involved, linking up nicely. Then the handball was cut off as North Melbourne bring the numbers around the footy. Davies-Uniacke loops a handball. Zerhard. Brought down in the tackle low. Davies-Uniacke. And actually dealt with right at the end there by Rioli. And the free kick is going to go the other way, is it?
Yeah, they're paid in the back, and Davies-Uniacke saw here. I don't know whether he hit his face on the turf or shoulder or... They've just tasted a bit of dirt there.
Still down on his haunches.
He got around one tackle and then...
He's hit his head, hasn't he?
So, yeah. Concussion, I would think.
Ginger at the moment, he's got the two medicos around him, still down on his haunches here. Davies-Uniacke.
Certainly had the stuffing knocked out of him, mate.
Unlucky, Rioli. It was sort of more the momentum and how fast Davies-Uniacke was running that sort of caused the in the back, because it was...
I think it was holding the ball.
So do I.
Very lucky to get a free kick, but he's not going to take it himself anyway.
No, and you wouldn't think... You'd think he's done.
Yeah, he's a bit dazed.
He's now getting up on his feet. He'll come straight to the bench in front of us.
Bonner's looking at him thinking, I think I'm on here, and you are on, son. Take the warm-up top off.
Yep.
Might take 10 or so minutes, but couldn't possibly see Davies-Uniacke taking any further part.
So he walks slowly to the bench. Sean Francis will inject himself back in. Maybe the Kangaroos' free kick on the wing. As Taylor advances it. It's a nicely weighted kick. Jerry's on the end of it. Lucky's calling for it long. He goes in that direction. Plenty of air in the footy. It allows the Eagles defenders to come across. Follow the ball as Polak on his left. Can he bring it back? He goes right across the face of goal and has missed everything in the end. So a free kick to be taken for the Eagles. Last line of defence. No change to the quarter time score. 2.5 minutes travelled. Athena home loans. And a short ball to Hearn, and Hearn will just measure another little short one to Duggan. Just trying to exit the back 50 to Shuey. Shuey will come inboard to Hearn. Still just inside defensive 50 here, the Eagles. And looking for a switch of direction. Nothing quite on offer, so he's going to keep it boundary side. Duggan will take the mark opposed to McDonald.
Slow work this, though, isn't it?
Yeah, they liked it. They sort of won their premiership playing this sort of kick mark style, and obviously had a bit more horsepower when they won the premiership.
Went back to Foley, back to Duggan, putting himself in the crunch. He caught one high. It appeared Shuey. Umpire just kept waving the arm. Shuey back after it, goes in low. Petrisky Seaton trying to win the footy. Horn Francis in there for the Kangaroos right in front of us now. The ball's locked up. We'll have it thrown up.
He's stiff not to get a free kick there, Luke Shuey.
That's blatant.
Nearly had his head ripped off.
Cherry will win the palm down.
Oh, that time he's got a free.
There's a coat hanger across the shoulder of Luke Shuey.
Third time's a charm.
I don't think I'd be wanting to... trying to get those head-high tackles, though, JJ, but he certainly deserved the first two.
So the one good bit of news this week, the return of Luke Shuey with all the deletions out of the West Coast team. He'll be holding the ball at half forward.
Yeah, it's great to see him back, Pete. Luke Shuey, the captain, very good player.
I'm glad Zeeble laid that great tackle, because that was...
Not like him to drop a mark like that.
No.
Zeeble goes in short to Taylor. So Taylor's marked between halfback and wing. Kangas 3-3, West Coast 2-3. Icon Solutions that matter, your national integrated property and service solution. Bring us the second quarter. Short ball to Horn Francis.
He's a little half three-quarter sock up wearer, Horn Francis.
I like seeing players with their socks up.
Just goes the required journey.
Many players do wear their socks up these days.
He isn't fully committed.
Got him up.
Lockie Young's ball. High ball towards half forward. Just beautiful there from McGovern to come across and fish that out of bounds. But the Kangaroos edge it to half forward.
Paddy Franklin's a socks up guy.
Yeah.
Paddy Dangerfield, socks up. Jack Darling, socks up. There's not many of them, though.
No. So Zeeble, he's got him up.
There's Eves up.
No change to the quarter-time score. Jerry trying to work his way to the front. There's another possession for Kelly, trying to handle in space to Wither and cut off by Zerha. He was dragged down as he was attempting to kick. And then the Eagles gather through Duggan. It's a nice ball, beautifully measured to the wing. Mark taken here by Ainsworth.
He's a really nice player, Liam Duggan. Makes good decisions, uses the ball well.
First game back, Pickers, from the knee.
Yep.
Now on the mark went Ainsworth. McDonald stands up nicely in the tackle. Zeeble, and then it was Ainsworth who came back to make amends and smothered the Zeeble.
Fantastic day, wasn't it, really? Because his first bit was poor, but that second effort was great.
Brilliant one-handed smother right in front of Simo and the boys on the bench too.
He was about to probably get the word, off you come, mate. Well done, stay on. Good job.
Ball out of bounds, tossed in. Jerry and Williams. Williams with a good second effort at Green level. Greenwood trying to flex his muscle. It's going to come back, though. Over the shoulder, it'll come back to the Eagles.
You nailed it, BP. It was good follow-up from the big fella. He's going to give away some size in the ruck, but that was great follow-up.
Williams across to Black. Black's chipped toward half forward. And the ball is going to stop. One-on-one battle there between Turner and also Ainsworth. So 6 minutes gone to the second. Nothing going on the scoreboard. Not between the arcs at the moment. One over the shoulder. Free kick. Will go to Horn Francis. He looks inboard immediately. McDonald, can they build something here, the Roos? That's a good left boot. Taken by Polak. Away to the running haul off half-back. Kick didn't quite find Larky. Zerha always dangerous. Turns his man inside out. Lowers the eyes. It's a skidding ball intended for Lazaro. It's a tough one at ground level. Lazaro's in there with the tackle. As the North Melbourne Smalls hump the footy here. It's a free kick over the shoulder in the end.
Marnie, I think, might be getting this.
Just copped a bit of contact in that sea of players, so it is going to be a Marnie free kick. 35 out directly in front. So more starting that attack off half back. Switch of direction, found some space. And now they need the finish. Marnie on the runway. Should be able to kick this. And hangs out and hit that right post. On the way through. Some missed opportunity for the Kangaroos. 3-4-22 West Coast 2-3-15 for Athena Home Loans. You can pay down your home loan faster with Athena Home Loans. And now the Eagles need to build something towards halfback. Williams trying to palm it on. Now the Kangaroos bring the ground level players. Williams away to Hall. Thomas away to Hall. Inside forward 50. Strong Mark McGovern. Oh man, you want to try and avoid it the best of times. Goes in short. Now the kick by West Coast towards the wing. Williams competed in the air. All at ground level. Now with a 1-2, he always looking to take a risk. He feeds it back by hand to McDonald. Always a good left boot. He's looking for Taylor. Duggan came across the face nicely there and thumped it out of bounds. So we'll have it tossed in.
It's living between the arcs at the moment.
Yeah.
Either team can really find a target sort of 50 to 70 from goal and get a good look at it.
It's some sound effects in the background.
Yawn. I think it might be Benny.
Seagulls at they
can't get in.
Trying to say something. These the Kangaroos. Hall with the run. Lowers the eyes. He just couldn't quite hit the target though. Zerha with a strong body. He kept his feet beautifully. Centering ball back towards the goal square. Larky with the fly. Almost took out his own man. They collided. Marnie at ground level. Feeds it back to Larky. Trying to feed it back into a little bit of space. Witherden will cut it off. He's dragged down by Horn Francis in the tackle. Ball stops about 30 out from the Kangaroos' goal.
Around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse. Great savings every day. 29-7, the Lions leading the Pies in the AFLW finals.
We're trying to flick it into space to Simpkin. Duggan cuts across his path. He's Kelly linking up. 11 disposals in the opening quarter, looking for a good afternoon. There was just enough pressure on the kick to Not allowed to distribute it the way he would have liked. It was cut off by Hall. Greenwood, he'll chip it inside 50. Lower the ice, beautiful. Good kick to Marnie, and a 50. Dragged out as he marked. And a certain goal, you would think, coming up for the Kangaroos.
It's a pretty silly play, really.
That's Witherden.
Well, he's played enough footy. Yep. He's not one of the replacement players. He knows the rules. He was just dopey.
Marnie delivers. That breaks the deadlock. Well, the scoreboard hasn't been penetrated in this second quarter, but the Roos create a little buffer on the Athena home line scoreboard. 4-4-28, West Coast 2-3-15.
Broke a bit of a deadlock, that goal, and it took a 50-metre penalty to do so because both teams are just kicking it back to each other between the arcs and pretty inefficient going forward. But finally, as I said, it took a 50-metre penalty, but Marnie was able to walk to the goal line and go bang.
So back in the middle we go, West Coast. That'll be the question this afternoon. How long can they stick with the Roos with this depleted lineup? As we've said, they've still got enough good talent out there, but it's an interesting watch. Greenwood and Kelly at the drop of the footy. A good battle in the middle. Kelly's had some good numbers. Here's Simpkin with a kick forward for the Roos. Now the gather by Duggan, who just spirals one towards half forward. Good fist in there by Cork. Ground level ball here for Ainsworth, who hooks it across his body. It's a one-on-one in the square. It's Petreski-Seaton. Howler bounce out of mid-air. It's touched. He and Bonner were going at it one-on-one. It's got over the line with the flying boot there from Petreski-Seaton. So Bonner activated on the ground for the Roos. The concussion for Davies Uniacke off the ground. Long high ball. Jerry and also Williams competing. Right in the heart almost of Marvel Stadium. Ball stops. Horn Francis, always prepared to put himself in the crunch pickers, the young man.
Yes, that's what I like about him. Played against men for 2 years, so he's not really intimidated, is he, at all?
Another touch for Tim Kelly inside 50, but it's all Luke McDonald who takes the comfortable mark. And he's almost missed his boot with that kick. But luckily Walker's got some room on that far side. He's missed power with the target, and Duggan cuts it off. So the foot skill's not great from the Roos on that occasion. Inboard ball to Rioli. So Willie Rioli's already kicked the 2. He's going to launch it inside forward 50. Down there with a strong mark is Aidan Corr. That was a good grab.
Whenever they've got to go in slowly, long and high, the Eagles, they look impotent because they've only got one tall forward and the Roos are sort of mopping it up. They need to get a bit more speed on the game.
Last hanger of the day, thanks to hangmytv.com.au. Last line of defence. Kangaroos just changing up the angles. It was kicked to Polak. Zeebel's come across his defensive goal and spots up Walker. Walker's got a man over the top as the ball advances to the wing. That's Powell. Powell now with a kick towards half forward. It's in between a couple of Roos. It allows Jamison to come across. Marnie. Oh, he flicked it on beautifully to Simpkin. Simpkin inside 450. Spilt mark by Turner. Should have got that up. Simpkin back after it again. Back to Turner with the right foot snap, but it's gone narrow, the kick to the left-hand side. One behind. 4-5-29, 2-4-16. That's the story so far here at Marvel Stadium. We've gone 13 minutes on the Makita clock. Rule the outdoors.
17 hitouts to 1 for safety steel sheds, but it's not resulting in clearances because the Eagles are actually winning the clearances.
Witherden just comes out of his defensive goal square. It's going to be cut off, though. It wasn't a great kick to the intended target, and it was cut off by Greenwood, who then spot up Larkey.
Everyone's lauded
was Foley.
The kicking of Witherden, but gee, time and time again he turns it over. Under no pressure, really. That was a poor kick.
So Nick Larkey looking to kick his 3rd of the match, just to create a real buffer.
See on the scoreboard there, his career best is 7.
20 metres out, no problems.
He's got 3.
Kangas stretch their lead. 5-5-35 now. 2-4-16 the Eagles. Athena home line scoreboard.
He's doing matchups McGovern. McGovern's a super player, but he does have goals kicked on him. Occasionally players will get hold of Jeremy McGovern because he backs his own judgment, but that wasn't his fault. Not much he could have done there because he was setting up for a kick in from the full back line, and mate just kicked it straight to a North player, straight back to his
I
opponent.
might go with it and say, look, he's kicked enough for me without you giving him a couple.
Yes. So North Melbourne, handy lead here, 19 points. Back in the middle we're going to go. So it's going to be Jack Williams to go up against Goldstein. And Kelly been minded there by Taron Thomas. Thomas wins that possession. Away to Powell, cuts back inside Greenwood. Williams, Greenwood runs into a brick wall. He's always able to got the strength to free up the arms. Away to Powell, measures one inside 50 beautifully. Gee, the Kangas got through the squeeze there. Some strong bodies. Zerha on the end of this and to launch from just inside 50.
Kick this one for Zerha. He said he was pretty quiet last week.
I was just about to say, you got big bodies of the Roos. Greenwood 94 kilos, Taron Thomas listed at 76. If he's 76 kilos, then I'm 180.
Zerha, 51 from home. Sends the drop punt long. It's just touched on the line. 5-6-36 the Kangaroos. West Coast 2-4-16. Athena Home Loans bringing you the scoreboard in the second quarter.
Govan just slow to get up there.
Back in the face by his teammate.
So Hearn with the kick in finds young Jamison, who's been on the Eagles waffle list from Claremont. He's a developing ruckman. He's playing key back this afternoon. Long high ball, strong mark taken by Thomas. He's just
injured himself, I think, when he landed.
He's airborne. He's come down pretty hard.
Hopefully he hasn't hit his head.
He's on his back. Legs went out from underneath him.
Seeing that on the replay for Easy Debit. Join Easy Debit today. Kick inside forward 50. He's found Larkies everywhere. It's on
Just
a tight angle though.
Just pretend, Nick, you don't really want to pass this off.
Tricky shot from where he's having it. Going to have to kick this.
Oh, he's kicked beautifully so far. If he kicks this, I tell you what.
Your little check side here, Pickers, or
He's going to go for a drop punt.
And thread the eye.
With the biggest roar we've heard this afternoon, you would think. Just outside the boundary line, steps just inside, it just goes across the face.
But Charlie Curnow kicked one, was it, the other night? He banged one from there.
Had that nice shape on it, but just went across the face.
20 points the lead for the Kangaroos. AFL Nation for Red Energy move with Red Energy and Regional Development Victoria. It's going to be Hearn to run out of his defensive goal square, so the scoring has dried up for the Eagles in this second quarter. Darling's the target. Goldstein cuts in front and just thumps it and went 5 rows back. Let it thrown in.
12,000 here, maybe a fraction more. He's a bit busy up above us.
You write it down as 21 if you're a North Melbourne official.
38,000 there last week for the Hawthorn game, which was a pretty good crowd, I thought.
Goldstein won the tap down. Here's Thomas. He's recovered from the front and handballs that into space, but the boundary line will win out. There's a bit of pressure around him as well, so we'll have it thrown in. Footy's back and I'm loving it. Never miss a single goal with McDelivery. AFL Nation here at Marvel Stadium this afternoon. Williams won the tap down for the Eagles. Rioli, little give by hand. Gee, nice turn of speed here on that occasion for the West Coast Eagles by Naish, the former Tiger. Got it inside forward 50. Giro with plenty of pressure around him. Little sock out of the air by Jack Siebel. Only goes as far as Rioli. Hooks it across his body looking for Shuey. Just getting in front of him was Zerha. He spilt the mark now. There, the ground level ball from Liam Ryan. How about the pass? Beautifully done to Duggan to line up just inside 50 directly in front.
Every single time Ryan gets the footy, something good happens. He made a good lead there. Naish wasn't able to hit him. Went and got the footy himself, squared it up on the non-preferred. Liam Duggan will go try and kick a goal and a known goal scorer.
So he suffered the knee injury last year. Back in the team. Gee, struck that beautifully. As soon as it left the boot, there was no doubt about it. They come from everywhere around Liam Duggan. Welcome back. His work off half-back, as we know, but he's crept forward on this occasion, and that is a much-needed goal for the West Coast Eagles to stay in touch. 5-7-37, the Kangaroos The Eagles 3-4-22.
Beautiful thump off the boot.
His 10th career goal.
Yeah, well, it didn't look like he had any issues. He went back and went whack.
It's good
Had a
forward.
beautiful sound off the boot.
As soon as it left, didn't it, Pickers?
Sure, well, we've got no number 14 on the sheet.
I was about to write a goal next to his name. His name's not even on the list.
He's on my secondary list. Page 1A.
Backup list for the Eagles.
So the Eagles have taken 20 minutes, their first goal of this second quarter. But they stay in touch. Goldstein, Simpkin at the drop, taken immediately in the tackle by Shuey. Big ball to be won here. Look at Goldstein. The hands to Lazaro is superb. Now the kick inside forward 50 for the Roos. He's magnificent. Come off the boot of Powell to Turner. Now away to Pollock on the left. It's a flying ball through the air, but it's gone well out to the right-hand side. And behind registered. Margin 16 points for the Kangaroos. And Hearn's going to have the kick-in duties here for the Eagles. And short to Witherden. And there's another short pass. The Eagles at half-back. Yes. This is young Diwa. Can you just give me his entire career, boys, this afternoon? Long ball inside forward 50.
There he is.
Larky's on the end of it. And they turn it over the Eagles at half-back. Just around the wing. The Roos are able to gather. And Larky, he's marking everything at the moment.
A dominant big forward on the ground. Had a lot of Jack Darling this quarter, haven't we? Seen much of him.
They haven't had much clean footy in their front half, the Eagles, this quarter.
So Larky looking for his fourth. That one struck beautifully.
Happy.
4 goals to Larky, 6 goals for the Kangaroos. And they've doubled the score of the Eagles, 6-8-44 to 3-4-22. Taylor trying to get back on boundary side for Snaffle. Bite-sized payments. Win.
They went by about 20 points last week against Hawthorn at one stage in the second quarter and fell away. They'll be talking through that at half-time, making sure there's no drop-off, but at the moment they clearly looked a more dangerous side. West Coast are trying their best to hang in there. Too much has been left to too few so far.
So Greenwood will come back in for the bounce opposed to Kelly. It'll be Bailey Williams taking the ruck against Goldstein. And Francis, the star recruit, he's matched up with Tresky Seaton. Ball hits the deck. Here's Kelly again. Works a kick inside forward 50. Foot race on and it's cut off by Hall. He tries to get it to Scott. The pressure came from the Eagles, Giro and Williams, and now Kelly's kept pushing forward and he had full possession. He tried to appeal for the free kick. Walker the fumble, taking the handball from Scott. Just got to invent a kick there in the Roos. Trying to be clean here, coming off half back. It'll come back though, a little bit of contact over the shoulder. It'll be a North Melbourne ball at half back. Core. Can set a little bit of ground back to potentially look at a change of direction, but nothing on offer. So Core's going to kick this one up the line. Horn Francis direction. Butters up. Look at the hands. Kangaroos fans excited every time the young man goes near the footy. Long ball to Zerha. He's got the strength in front of the equally strong Hearn.
Got Larky.
Zerha with a flying kick through the air. Larky at the back, and then McGovern spoilt the party with a big late fist.
Just a bit confused as to whether the ball was going to carry and he'd get an easy mark over the top or to come back at it, and in the end he gave McGovern a look at it.
I think he could have got a block from his teammate, to be honest. I think they should have...
Big Goldie was looking for one himself.
Well, I think he should have summed it out and held off McGovern, and he should have taken an uncontested mark, really.
Kangaroos by 23.
Seemed to be a lot of connection between Goldie and Larky. I think they're both looking for a mark.
Witherden in the back pocket has turned it over. Well, that's a couple of times that he has not used the ball well inside defensive 50. And the man of the moment, Larky has got ball in hand. Everything's turning to goal for Nick Larky.
Another Witherden turnover, though, isn't it? Let's bite off a bit more than he can chew at times.
And looking for his 5th goal of the opening half. Larky gets the skip up now. 45 from home. And that one just hangs out to the left for a behind. Plenty of scoring opportunities for the Roos. 6-10, 46, 3-4, 22 the Eagles for Athena home lines. Eagles trying to clear it from deep in defence. So McGovern just thumps the right boot long towards the wing. Cut off by Sherry. And a free kick though given away. So it's actually going to go to Ryan.
I'm always worried about him in the aerial contests and often give him a free kick for blocking.
Ryan in short to Black. So Black with no one standing to make. He runs off. Accelerates and now kicks towards attacking 50. Aaron Hall comes across and comes that out of bounds. Eagles have got it to half forward. So ball to be tossed back in. Kangaroos holding sway. Scoreboard wise in this second quarter. We've ticked over 25 minutes. Makita clock rule the outdoors. Eagles a chance. They go inside forward 50 with the kick. Ryan over the back. Foot race on. Zeeble. Support from Bonner, did nicely. Walker, Thomas almost going to be run down. And just affected the kick in the end, and he sent it down the throat of Shannon Hearn. He was pushed off his kick and doesn't get it to where he wanted it to land inside 50, and Zeeble cut it off. Away to Aaron Hall. Hall will distribute it to Thomas. And go back behind his mark. He's parked it half back. Thomas will concede a little bit of ground to change direction to the far side to Walker.
Get sideways without any real thought about what they're going to do next. The Roos a bit too often.
Come back to this side again. Walker, Zeeble, Core.
We get a change.
Zerha hitting up. There's three Eagles around this footy, and you'll see McGovern take it over the boundary line.
Yeah, you make a good point about this, the haphazard switching of the play. I mean, you're right. You've got to know what the next kick's doing. You've got to go the one after that's going to do. If you're just going to kick it back, it'll come straight back the other side again.
White tosses it back in. Jerry won it to the front of the pack. Greenwood with a strong body. Jerry back after it again. Holak wants his left side. Comes back in. Just kick it to found Zeeble. Zeeble just says let's hold for a moment. Now he distributes to Taron Thomas right in front of the interchange gates. So we ticked over 27 minutes. Kangaroos led it by 4 goals. 6-10, 46 to 3-4, 22. Thomas, Zeeble, now they've conceded some ground back to half, back to Core, to Walker. Loop a handball over the top to Bonner. He's got a few metres in front to accelerate. Now Bonner with the kick towards half forward. Can he get it over the back to Lazaro? Who takes the juggling mark.
That could be a mark, surely.
Lazaro. Now the kick inside forward 50. Guess who's on the end of it? Larky. Couldn't quite pluck the mark. Now the players really gather around the Sharon. Eagles trying to lock it up.
He'll be filthy on that one. That was a nice lead, nice kick, and he just let it get out of the bread basket.
Ryan tosses it up again. Williams over the top for the Eagles. Greenwood with a strong body. Left boot just hacked it forward. Jennison will cut it off though for the Eagles.
Nothing to kick to here.
Shuey notices that and he comes back to his defensive goal square to McGovern. 50. Will go the Eagles' way to Naish.
Can they make it count? We're inside a minute and a half here till half time.
Naish will just square the footy on this occasion. Across to Foley. Foley in 2 minds. Now the kick towards half forward. Williams in front. Core was right there with him off hands out of bounds.
Strange old lateral kick again. Sometimes you get teammates open because the opposition want them to be open because they're not in a dangerous position and should think twice about kicking it there, but I think the Eagles will probably be happy just to get to half-time and reassess here.
Jerry works his way to the front. His work ethic's been superb. Petrisky-Seaton laid the handball off. Kick was smothered off the Eagles' boots. There a chance here for the Kangaroos. Lazaro, the Sharon, was bobbling around. He just couldn't quite take it cleanly. Zeeble on hands and knees. A shove is going to be paid. It's going to go to Petruccelli. Inside the last minute, Petruccelli with all the numbers back for the Roos. Just hits the top of the square with the kick. Long ball, Williams flew. Ground level ball for Bonner. able to free up the arms. Kangaroos trying to clear. Taylor got involved. Polak with a spiralling left boot, just kick for touch. Right in the heart of Marvel Stadium. Taken by McGovern. One last chance for the Eagles. Hearn goes wide with the kick. Naish inboard to Giro. Now the next kick inside 50. Can they pluck and mark late here, the West Coast? Long ball inside. Williams flew over the back. Right foot snap. He's kicked it. He's kicked it just inside the siren for half-time. And that keeps the Eagles in touch.
Yeah, they'll be kicking themselves, North Melbourne. Giving up a goal like that, out the back of a long ball in. Ball gets out the back. And basically a ruckman can snap one as a crummer. Jeez.
Dave Noble's probably left the coach's box.
He'd be nice and happy when
walking down to see the boys, and he'll say, "I beg your pardon."
What happened? There's officially 5 seconds left.
The Eagles ruckman has crumbed his own contest and kicked a goal.
Josh Walker was with a big fist.
Could have given it to his namesake as well for his first goal on debut. But
Thomas just coming off in front of us here.
None of that.
Been down for a while.
So Medico's around him. Head bowed. He's going to get down his haunches now. Looking a little worse for wear. Keep an eye on that. Siren about to blow. There it is for half-time here at Marvel Stadium. It's the Kangaroos 16-46. Late goal for the Eagles 4-4-28. So Duggan has kicked one. Bailey Williams has kicked one. Willie Rowley's kicked two. Larkey has kicked 4 in the opening half, and singles to Marnie and also Taron Thomas. Big Sunday afternoon of footy. We've got the early kick-off here. The Roos looking for their first win of the year against the depleted Eagles. Back with all our half-time analysis next here on AFL Nation.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for McDonald's. Feed the whole team with Macca's 40-piece Chicken McNuggets pack today.
Furniture Frenzy is on now at Amart. Save thousands in-store and online across a huge range, including lounges, sofas, living, bedding and more. Amart Furniture. It just makes sense.
Every interview and every show. Listen to the podcast now. Just click the catch-up button on the SEN app.
Smeg double your cashback sale on now at Designer Appliances. Get up to $1,000 cash card plus up to $1,000 Visa gift card on selected Smeg appliances. Designer Appliances, Bendigo, Camberwell, Heidelberg, Rosebud and Wanturna South.
Sustained performance in footy is more than just one great game. It's about playing consistently, game after game, season after season. Host Plus delivers strong performance over the long term, with top returns over 20 years. A top-performing super fund over the long term, that's a plus. Search, compare Host Plus today.
Super Ratings SR50 Balanced Index, December 2021. General advice only. Consider the relevant Host Plus PDS and TMD at hostplus.com.au before deciding if Host Plus is appropriate for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
From kick-off to kick-on, Crown provides all the entertainment for game day. Catch up with friends in the buzzing atmosphere of the pub, or if you can't be at the game, watch it live at Sports Bar. Big screens, live entertainment, cold beer and classic pub food. There's no better place to watch your favourite sports. At Crown, the fun doesn't stop when the siren sounds. Live a little louder at Crown. Visit crownmelbourne.com.au for full details. Crown practices the responsible service of alcohol. Patrons must be 18 plus and fully vaccinated to enter. See Crown website for entry conditions.
Hey, Nick Del Santo here. As a rookie, I was mentored by some of the best footy brains around. After all, you don't play over 300 games without starting somewhere. In business, it's easy to find a gun rookie. Just call MEGT. As Australia's largest and only national apprenticeship network provider, MEGT are your local apprenticeship experts. Whether you're an employer who needs an apprentice or you're looking to kickstart your career as one, MEGT has you covered. Visit MEGT.com.au or call 13MEGT.
For small and family-owned builders, navigating the legal side of your businesses can be a nightmare. That's why Master Builders Victoria is there for you. When it comes to dealing with clients and contracts, you can get OH&S and industrial relations support from Master Builders' team of lawyers and exclusive industry training opportunities. Membership provides free legal support from just $1.40 a day. Master Builders Victoria, can you afford not to be a member? Join today at mbav.com.au.
you in the zone? Now's the time to zone your home with a Dakin heating cooling system. Upgrade your ducted system now and receive up to 3 free zones. That's right, up to 3 free zones. Take control of your heating and cooling and save with Coldflow. Hurry, offer ends March 31 and only at Coldflow. Visit coldflow.net.au for your free quote today.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. Check out National Tiles' all-new Italian and Spanish floor tiles on our website now. Your new home or renovation will look absolutely stunning in any one of the 25 all-new European floor tiles. Currently available for immediate delivery, but you'll have to be quick. These all-new stunning European floor tiles are walking out the door. So rush to order online or in-store at National Tiles now.
For Australian designed and engineered storage solutions for your ute that'll keep your stuff safe and secure, see TC Boxes. Their trays, canopies and toolboxes are perfect for on the job and awesome for a spot or weekend camping with the mates. Visit tcboxes.com.au.
When my mates bring their plus ones, who bring their plus ones, we're gonna need more McNugs delivered. McDelivery!
Get dinner delivered with the 40 chicken McNugget pack and new spicy sticky barbecue sauce from Macca's. With delivery available at select locations.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. For all your tiling needs, in stock now.
Goal square. It's going to be cut off, though. It wasn't a great kick to the intended target, and it was cut off by Greenwood, who then spot up Larkey. 20 metres out, no problems. He's got 3. Kangas stretch their lead. Now the next kick inside 50. They pluck and mark late here, the West Coast. Long ball inside. Williams flew over the back. Right foot snap. He's kicked it. He's kicked it. Just inside the siren for half-time. That keeps the Eagles in touch.
AFL Nation highlights for McDonald's. Footy's back and I'm loving it. Never miss a single goal with McDelivery.
Half-time, Marvel Stadium, North Melbourne lead it here by 18 points. 6-10-46, the West Coast Eagles at 4-4-28. Those major goal kickers, Rioli, the one multiple goal kicker for the Eagles with 2, and Nick Larkey has had a day out so far. Could have kicked 5. He's kicked 4 in the opening half. It's our halftime floor show. Let's get into that for the Choices Flooring sale, which is on now.
The Choices Flooring halftime floor show. Choices Flooring's Watch Your Lifestyle catalogue sale on now.
Let's get into some numbers. Josh Jenkins, Liam Pickering alongside me for the call this afternoon for Safety Steel Sheds, designed to save, built to last.
Well, we've got some numbers here, some stats wrap. Hugh Greenwood been everywhere around the contest. He's had 15 disposals and 5 tackles. Aaron Hall's been good coming off half back. He's also had 15. Zeeble 14. So a lot of the guys down back have had plenty of the footy. Zurhaar's been busy up around the front half with 12 disposals. For the Eagles, Tim Kelly's been everywhere, 15 touches. Willie Rioli, 12 and 2 goals. He's been dangerous. Shuey's been good as the skipper, 11 and 5 tackles, and Shannon Hearn has had 10 and 5 marks.
You talk about Greenwood. I mean, it'll be interesting through the course of the year, Josh, how much of a loss he might be for the Gold Coast, who are, trying to win up against a tough Melbourne last night, who they could have done with a guy like Greenwood. But he's everywhere, isn't he? His ability to get his first hand on the ball. It's never a beautiful kick coming out, but it's metres gained. It's just getting it rolling in whoever team he's playing for in their direction.
He's a get-it-forward guy.
Yep.
That's what he is. In and under get-it-forward. He's a first-possession player, and especially with Jed Anderson, probably still a few weeks away, who's a similar type player, those inside mids. So I think he's a pretty good selection. And he's a good size, too. He's a big guy. He's not a small midfielder. Some of the player power rankings for Red Energy, of course. Moving house. Call your local Red Energy dealer. Of course, BP. Nick Larkey. Jack Zeeble actually is leading the power ratings at the moment with 77. He's had 14 disposals, 9 marks for Jack Zeeble.
A lot of nice dinky marks in the back half.
Well, that's what they do. He does it well. And then Nick Larkey, of course, on 69. He looks a real player at the moment.
He does. Well, Zeeble had to contend with
Gunston last week.
Gunston, he was also on, wasn't he on Mitch Lewis for a little period there, so had to concede a bit of ground, but getting plenty of touches in the back half. Who's absolutely running hot for Ream? Ask your plumber.
Nick Larkey. Nick Larkey. He's had 10 disposals, 5 marks. All those marks have been inside 50. He's kicked 4 goals, 2, and he dropped a sitter 2 out in the lead, so he could have had he could have had a handful in the first half. He'll be looking for 7 or 8, I reckon, today.
Hanger of the day? mark of the day so far for hangmytv.com.au, because that's what they do.
Taron Thomas took a nice one in the second quarter, landed on his back, winded himself. I see he's been listed as injured here at half-time, so hopefully he hasn't done any real damage.
Came off late just before half-time, looking a little worse for Webb. We'll give him the hanger of the day so far. Player of the day so far. We're going
lucky.
with
got to be the full forward.
Have to be lucky.
Kick 4.5. There's only been 10 goals in the game, so Lucky's got 4 of them.
Dominating the categories here for Whirlpool Design for Environment. So the injury update for Star 21, 2021 Telstra Enterprise Partner of the Year. West Coast lost Nelson just before the game. He had to come out. Mountford came in, and then we've seen the concussion for Davies Uniacke.
He's out.
Who came off, and Bonner's been activated as the sub there, and then we'll keep an eye on Taron Thomas just to see his state of affairs after half-time. What about an unmissable moment for Drinkwise? You won't miss a moment if you drink wise.
Well, the kick-in goal, Aaron Hall kicked it to Taron Thomas, who just was able to take the mark before he got killed, and then he took a bounce and kicked it from inside the centre square. I think he was looking for a teammate, but the ball just kept going and going, and about a 10-second from kick-in to goal, so that was very impressive.
Drinkwise, choose to drink wise. The most impressive pickers are the younger guys. MEGT Rookie of the Day, MEGT, your local apprenticeship experts, and give them a call, 13-MEGT today.
Yeah, well, Jason Horne-Francis hasn't had a huge amount of the ball, but what he's done has been really good, really classy. So he's probably the youngest, or the best of the younger blokes this afternoon anyway so far. He's had 9 disposals, but he's been really sharp with the ball.
Around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse, great savings every day. Of course, a couple of games still to come this afternoon. Richmond up against the Giants, the 3:20 game at the MCG, and the Dockers and the Saints a little bit later on.
And that AFLW final has gone final. It's full time. The Lions been able to get the job done. Oh, sorry, they're up 6-8, 44 to 2-1, 13. So they are all but home there.
They've been a powerful team, haven't they?
Yep.
In the AFLW, Adelaide and Brisbane have been the best teams pretty much since the get-go.
Great job, Craig Starcevich up there, and they've moved into theirs. They've got their new facility out at Springwood.
I think they are, yeah.
Very impressive setup out there in the suburbs of Brisbane. We're taking calls all weekend on the Kogan Open line, so make the call. Switch to Kogan Mobile, $2.90 for 30 days with a big 20 gig of data. So that has been our halftime floor show. Thanks to Choices Flooring. We'll set up the second half next as the Oz Kickers do some of their best work. Plenty to come on AFL Nation.
A sports news update for Rolled. Eat good with Rolled. It's fast, fresh Vietnamese.
I'm Anna Pavlou with your sports update for Rolled. The fan that caught the football after Lance Franklin kicked his 1,000th AFL goal has vowed to return it to the Swans. Sydney on Saturday launched a campaign to find the ball Franklin used to kick the goal, but sparked wild scenes against Geelong at the SCG. Matt King came forward, posting on his social media saying he would return the ball. The Swans have invited him to training to present the ball back to the 1,000 goal hero on Tuesday. Yet thousands of fans storming the SCG may not be the most chaotic thing we see at the footy this weekend. There was mass confusion at the MCG yesterday as Collingwood took on Adelaide when the fire alarm went off early in the second quarter. As the sirens blared, patrons were told to exit the stadium while play stopped and teams headed to the middle of the ground. Just 1 minute later, it was announced that it was a false alarm and play resumed.
A sports news update for Rolled. Fast, fresh Vietnamese. You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. For all your tiling needs, in stock now.
When my mates bring their plus ones, who bring their plus ones, we're gonna need more McNugs delivered.
McDelivery! Get dinner delivered with the 40 chicken McNugget pack and new spicy sticky barbecue sauce from Macca's. McDelivery available at select locations.
SMEG double your cashback sale on now at Designer Appliances. Get up to $1,000 cash card plus up to $1,000 Visa gift card on selected SMEG appliances. Designer Appliances, Bendigo, Camberwell, Heidelberg, Rosebud and Wantirna South.
Flip the switch to amazing value energy with Kogan Energy. Visit Kogan Energy's website and upload your current electricity bill to see how much you'll save by switching. You could even win $1,000 credit on your Kogan Energy account. Plus, just by switching, you'll get a free Kogan First 12-month membership. Flip the switch to Kogan Energy. Visit koganenergy.com.au/radio today. Kogan Energy, powered by PowerShop. Residential customers only, not available in all areas.
Did you know if you're sick or injured and cannot work, You may be able to access insurance through your superannuation, even if your claim has been previously rejected. Get the right advice. Talk to Shine Lawyers, the super claim experts. We offer no win, no fee. Conditions apply. Call Shine Lawyers today for a free super check on 131199 and let's right wrong.
So the garden tap's connected to the tap timer. The tap timer's connected to the tap nut. The tap nut's connected to the poly pipe. The poly pipe's connected to the elbow piece. The elbow's connected to a hop pop. Keeping your garden green is easy with Pope because everything connects in a flash. And that's how your garden grows. Make the connection with the Pope irrigation range, available at Bunnings Warehouse.
Start living the good life on Queensland's Bribie Island. Someone is guaranteed to win Marta Prize Home's $1.8 million latest prize package, and it could be you. You get it all. A stunning golf course home, a Range Rover Velar, an Audi A5, a stack of gold, a golf cart, and more. But you need to be in it to win it, and tickets are from just $2. Buy yours today at martalotteries.com.au. You're changing lives with every ticket. T's and C's apply.
And the Glasgow Celtic will be there.
Get behind Celtic Football Club, led by Ange Postecoglou and starring Socceroo star Tommy Rogic. And show your support with the iconic Hoop Celtic home jersey from their online store.
Plus, they're rewarding SEN listeners with 10% off the new Adidas Team Geist clothing range when you use the code word SEN Celtic.
Support the Aussie boys in Scotland when you support Celtic Football Club.
Shop online now at celticfc.com/store.
Beloved doggies, it's true. I haven't seen every minute of every Bulldogs game. I didn't even know it was possible. To watch every game live with no ad breaks in play. No ads. I mean, wow. But I have KO now. Bontempelli! And finally I see what I've been missing. Bailey! Please forgive me. Your biggest fan, Gary.
Never miss a moment of the team you love with KO Sports.
I just love you guys.
Drinks fridge looking a little on the empty side? Hairy Dog is the better way to buy alcohol. Online in your own time. Browse Australia's largest range from those hard-to-find drops to all your favourites. From wine, spirits and must-try mixes to curated cocktails and mystery beer bundles. Hairy Dog has it all so you can have it all. Delivered to your door with free shipping and 10% off your first order. Order online at hairydog.com.au. Drink responsibly. Afterpay and Zip Pay available.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. For all your tiling needs, in stock now.
At Marvel Stadium, the Kangaroos leading it by 18 points. Both teams re-emerging onto Marvel. 6-10-46 to 4-4-28. Let's look ahead to the day of footy to come. Gents, Liam Pickering, Josh Jenkins alongside me. Big game, Richmond and the Giants coming up in about just under an hour at the MCG, Josh.
Giants are, at least with the bookies, the Giants are strong, heavy favourites. But, I mean, they were okay last week, the Giants. They gave up a lot of goals, though. They gave up plenty of goals to the Swans, who we know are a good side, but it should be a little bit more even than that. But we know Tigers are missing so many.
Well, they're missing Rewald and Martin now, which is a bit of a concern. And the area, I think, the reason I've selected Giants is the area of concern for Richmond at the moment is their midfield, and that's the strength of the Giants. Like, that's one thing you can't question them on. Their midfield depth is enormous.
No Lambert, no Prestia as well, no Vlosten down back, so they're missing some key personnel. But I just wonder whether the Jesse Hogan returns today, I think, and
he's back,
hopefully he can string some games together because he looked good late last year.
Big game coming up at the MCG, and Fremantle St Kilda.
It'll be a good game too.
It's a big game. Dockers getting home on the road by a point over Adelaide last week, and the Saints going down to the Pies wouldn't want to be 0-2, so plenty at stake.
I'll give the Saints a real chance this afternoon. I've selected Fremantle, I've selected Giants, but I selected West Coast before I knew half their team was out. So the tipping's not going quite so hot this week.
St Kilda will be in the gun if they don't sort of push the Dockers and make it a really competitive contest, then they'll be in the gun come tomorrow's bevy of footy shows in the morning, the evening and all night. So hopefully the Saints can make that a competitive game. Freo looked pretty good beating Adelaide in round one in Adelaide last week.
So both games on AFL Nation across the duration of today. Check your local guides, as they say, wherever you are around the country. Both teams in their last huddle before we re-emerge. What do we expect here for the second half?
Oh, yeah, I think North will draw away and win quite comfortably. But West Coast, you've got to give them a lot of credit here. They lost another player before the game, if you can believe it, in the warm-up. And I think they've put together a good competitive performance in the first half so far.
Yeah, they've been good. I mean, they are relying on a few. They're relying on Rioli and Ryan and Shuey and Tim Kelly to make it happen. But if McGovern can step up and close down Larkey and they can win some more footy, when they have to go long and high into their forward line, they don't look like troubling the Roos. But when they can get some speed on the game, use those smaller guys, Petruccelli in the forward 50, they actually look like they can threaten.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Taron Thomas nowhere to be seen. Yep. Still listed as injured. Didn't come back out with the team.
Zaro,
it's a bit of a concern.
Bonner and Taylor down on the bench at the moment. Davies Uniacke was subbed out earlier with a concussion. Keep an eye on the Thomas situation. So just about ready to go. Footy's back and I'm loving it. I'll never miss a single goal with Mick delivery. And the opening bounce for Tyre Power. Always win with a free 5-minute tyre safety check. So once again, it's going to be Bailey Williams to go at it. We've seen Jack Williams in that centre bounce as well. The two Williams rotating out of there throughout the day. And we've got Goldstein and Jerry to contend with. And he kept his spot in the team. Coleman Jones left out that went the 3 rucks last week. Jones got a tap to it. And it's Jerry following up at ground level. Greenwood just hacks a kick. It rolls towards Turner. Now the Eagles burrow in at ground level. Trying to extract this footy out. It's Naish in the middle of that pack and the ball stops. As it made its way, trickled towards the wing on the far side of our commentary box. Williams. Petrisky-Seaton trying to lay a strong tackle. Shuey hunting the footy. It falls out to Polak. Simpkin with the good hands. Scott, free kick. Comes back to the Roos, just being held. Go back to Polak. And 3 inclusions back in this North Melbourne lineup for round 2. He spreads it to Simpkin. Kick to the left of Uradio Doyle in the second half.
No more Taron Thomas has got some bruised or broken ribs. Take no further part in the game. So they're down to 3 on the bench, the Roos.
Simpkin short to Horn Francis. Measuring their way through here, the Roos. A little short ball finds Turner. Still outside the 50 arc. Now Turner will launch inside. Larky's caught well behind on that occasion. Zerhard did fly. Now Larky goes to work at ground level. Marnie in there competing as well. Petrisky-Seaton able to extract it though for the Eagles. High ball towards Ryan, who set underneath it and took a good mark. Not a lot forward of the footy. Just got to check for a moment. So he releases by hand. The run and support comes. Petruccelli away to Willie Rioli. Flares it wide towards Tim Kelly at half forward.
Ryan steaming inside 50 by himself. Being picked up now, but a lot of numbers are getting back for the Roos.
Darling's offered up a couple of leads. Haven't been accepted. He conceded a little bit of ground all the way back to Witherden. So Witherden now to launch again from inside forward 50. Kept it low through the air. It was in the Petruccelli direction. Ricocheting ball comes out only as far as Duggan though, who can launch on the left from 50. And he pushes it across the face. It'll roll into that right forward pocket for a boundary throw in. 18 points, the half-time lead for the Kangaroos inside the first couple of minutes on the Makita clock rule the outdoors. So no change to the Victoria Police Assistance live scoreboard to start the second quarter. Jerry took it. It's a shallow throw and then his kick smothered, falls in the hands of Shuey just inside the boundary line. He'll go the banana. Luke Shuey just didn't curl it back enough. Behind out to the left-hand side.
Would have been a nice start for the Eagles and the skipper.
Speaking of skipper, Siebel, to put it back into play, he can just amble out of his defensive goal square. Goes in short to Aaron Hall. He'll link by hand back to Siebel. And now the release kick outside 50 for the Kangaroos. Goldstein direction, one-on-one there with McGovern. They meet each other head on. Big tackle by Goldie, wraps him up. Ball stops on the wing. Beautiful day in Melbourne. We're under the roof. Williams with the leap. It was Horn Francis who was at the drop of the footy, immediately tackled there by Shuey, so that ball not going too far. 17-point lead for the Roos. Williams won the tap down. Now taken by Greenwood. We've got a left boot forward. Good fist in there on Larkey. Now a ground level ball for Witherden. Naish got involved. Petrocelli trying to use some speed.
Well
dragged down the tackle. Beautifully done.
He was nearly through.
Slow to get up as well. On Francis, is it?
Yep. It was a good tackle. Ginger, he gave it off to the running Hall, off half back. Hall measures a nice one over the top to Polak. Between wing and half forward here for the Roos.
Coming from the ground, Horn Francis. So
Jared Polak, long inside. Goldstein with the reach. Had a fair piece of it. Couldn't bring down the mark. Zurhar was lurking for the crumb, but we'll have this one tossed in. 40 around from the Kangas goal. Francis just making his way to the interchange at the moment. Boundary update for Snaffle by now with bite-sized payments. Huge win. Taylor injected back in. Ball rolls. About 50 from home here for the Roos. A free kick over the shoulder. The Kangaroos will take the free kick against Shuey, so it'll go to Greenwood, who lays it off to the left boot of McDonald, who hits the top of the square with the kick. Goldstein trying to fly. McGovern, though, outmarks all.
Hasn't he got great hands, McGovern?
Yeah, Goldie's
gone down now.
Laying down. Horn Francis has just got a cut on the eye, so he looks like he'll be all right. Goldstein looks like he's in a spot of bother. He has
got one on the head too.
He's got a little bit of claret there too. He's going to have to come off. There's blood on the face of Todd Goldstein. So we'll just have a little pause for a moment here as he walks to the ground, to the interchange.
You're going to have one healthy player or one available player on the bench for a few minutes here because Horn Francis is getting stitched up, and Goldstein's going to need, that's coming from his mouth. Hopefully he had a mouth guard on.
So Goldstein just walking fairly slowly. Zara's come back on. No hurry to get off the ground. Umpire just waits here. The Eagles have got ball in hand, deep in defence. McGovern. They can go now. We'll keep an eye on that interchange. Plenty happening down there with the medicos for the Kangaroos. As McGovern runs off his mark and sends it long in the Williams direction, trying to use his body against Jerry at the foot of the ball. Beautifully sharky by Rioli. Measures a little one to Ryan. Ryan says, come to me. Drills it low. Tough one for Darling to come and meet head on. Ball ricochets in the Scott direction. Almost brought down by O'Neill. Able to input into a little bit of space over the top. Jerry links up with Marnie. Now Marnie says, come to me, Larky. He gets the hands up. Hit the pack hard. Front and square with Zurhar to Simpkin. Certain goal coming up for the Kangaroos. And Turner walks into the open goal and kicks it into the top deck. And the Kangaroos stretch their lead. We've gone quite a few minutes of this third quarter.
Just a quick rebound there. Ryan looked up. Darling was 1v2, 1v3. The ball landed just in front of him. He couldn't gather it. And from there, North were off and gone. There was a free kick, but Cherry took the advantage. Larky created a great contest, 1v2. And then the Roos, had about 3 or 4 players that could have walked in and kicked the goal. And Kane Turner was the lucky one on the end of it.
7:10:52 to 4:5:29. So 7 minutes gone. Victoria Police scoreboard. Use the police assistance line for non-urgent situations. So Jason Horn-Francis getting bandage up. He's had the change of jumper as well. And he'll come back on the ground, which is good news for the Kangaroos fans. Their star recruit. He's Powell out of the middle, who tumbles one towards half forward. Trying to get to Lazaro. Was cut off though. McGovern. Giro. McGovern's kept running. Takes the handball receive and kicks to a 2-on-2. It's a 3-on-3 in the end. The 3 big talls. Darling was flying. And then the ricochet ball lands in the hands of Scott for the Kangaroos. Short ball to Powell. He's sent upon quickly by Petreski-Seaton. Trying to control the footy. Handballing above his head, but the Eagles' pressure was good. as they try and lock it into their forward half. High tackle. Greenwood, it appeared that way. Now he burrows again with a second tackle. Hugh Greenwood, ball locked up.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that wasn't a high free kick.
Jack Darling having a tough time. We know he's had an interrupted pre-season, or no pre-season with his teammates, and just struggling. One kick and one mark for safety steel sheds.
So the Kangaroos working a little phone box here close to the boundary line. That one now will go over. How do you do? As far as up here, who's on the bottom of that pack? It was Greenwood. With the usual
stand up, boys.
Culprit.
Only cost you 1,500.
How's it? Is Mountford wearing 31?
To this to me.
Looks like he might have been injected because we haven't got 31 listed here. Just double checking because he might get his hands on the ball a few times in the next few minutes. He's Scott into the path for Zerha. He's one-on-one with Diwa, who kept his feet nicely. Saw off Zerha. Goes on the left boot, trying to hit the target. Reeling in the mark nicely was Giro, I should say. Giro assesses the options, cuts back inboard. Now a long high ball inside forward 50. Williams competing. Over the back, Petreski-Seaton laid it off to Ryan. It was Rioli back to Petreski-Seaton, who goes on the left boot, centering ball. Darling's caught behind on Walker, who takes the mark.
He's hobbling a little bit there, Josh Walker, but he's going to be okay to take his kick. A lot of people commenting on my Gyro Seinfeld comment early on social media.
High ball by Williams.
Got a light.
He's butted up nicely, the big man. Nice kick inside forward 50. Petricelli right there with him was Bonner. Young. Bonner defending. Back to Walker, who now releases the kick, but it's a shocker. It's out of bounds on the full, 5 deep.
The old fullback says, get it out of here.
Yeah, the old Mickey
Coming
Martin
straight
kick.
back.
That one was. Except Mick used to be able to get it in play.
So it'll be a Petreski-Seaton ball just outside 50. And he runs off his mark on that right arc, and now with the top of the squid kick, gee, the Williams all went down.
The long high ball in hasn't worked for the West Coast forward line. It's got to be the quicker balls when they've looked most dangerous.
Sure, he took the mark.
It looked silly, but he nearly would have been better off just booting that along the ground, because that's when it looked dangerous.
Works it to Curtis Taylor at half back. So score check here, 7-10-52 the Roos, Eagles 4-5-29. The Victoria Police assistance line. Taylor with a kick up the wing. Larky's the target. Jamison in there with the fist. Grand level ball here. Kelly by hand. Petreski-Seaton. O'Neill trying to find a target. It was just wide of Williams, who tries to flick it back into play, but just goes over the boundary line. Eagles are inside 50.
Just would have loved to have seen that ball go deep to Willie Rioli one-on-one, close to the goal square. He's been dangerous all day.
Umpire throws it back into play. Eagles trying to apply the pressure to get ball in hand, but it's the Roos will extract it. Aaron Hall flicking it over the top. Taylor then runs into a bit of a brick wall. Eagles come to meet them. Duggan trying to burst his way through. Released by hand. Now the gather by Greenwood. Trying to find Larky. Missed him though. Cut off. Witherden. Long ball inside 50. And the mark taken. There's another example.
It's not the go.
No. Mark to Luke McDonald. And he's got that penetrating left boot. 2-on-2 at half back. Holek trying to get it over the back. He's on a foot race here with Naish. Naish lost his footing. Holek then was met head on by Duggan, who tries to handball back underneath. And then the North Melbourne cavalry come. Marnie puts himself over the top of the footy. Black dives over the top, and we're in neutral territory. We'll have a throw up on the wing. It's the Roos leading it here by 23 points. 12 minutes elapsed. Makita clock, Ruley outdoors. Third quarter. It's on the post at the end. Jerry.
Jack
going away to
Williams.
Polak, who's just given a little gift there to bloke in the front row.
The runner just went out to Jack Williams and said, "You're in the ruck, mate." That's why Cherry had no opposition. He was standing at full forward.
So the Eagles with another attempt to go forward here.
Better though.
Shuey took it over the back and hit the target. There's a couple on offer. Good use of the body. Beautiful use of the body by Rioli.
Isn't he a clever player? Really Rioli. Really talented player.
Superb against Bonner. Willie Rioli's looked the one. Certainly he's kicked a couple today that convert when he's had an opportunity.
He's hardly played footy for 2 years.
Yeah, he's looked brilliant because he was a complimentary piece when they won their premiership. You had Kennedy and Darling and Lacroix and Cripps, and sort of just fit in where he could fit in. But he's looked like a half a match winner for them today.
Pretty much directly in front from 35. No problems there for the class of Willie Rioli. He's kicked 3 this afternoon. The Eagles stay in touch. And that is on the Victoria Police assistance line scoreboard. The Kangaroos 7-10-52. 5-5-35 for the Eagles.
It was a quick lower ball in though. That's the beauty. It's when they've gone in long and high and slow. It's just suited North Melbourne's defence, but when they've been able to get a bit of separation, a bit of one-on-one, and Luke Shuey got in very low then too, and really did the rest.
It's easier said than done, Pickers, isn't it? But any time they've been able to get one-on-ones with their medium and small types, even in aerial situations, they have looked threatening. When they kick it in long and high, they just don't have the cattle.
So Hugh Greenwood leading the safety steel shared stat sheet with 21. Aaron Hall's had the 18. Tim Kelly's led the way for the Eagles with 17. Goldstein won the palm down in the middle. Horn Francis trying to flick it by hand back to Goldstein, but the Eagles come to play here. Nicely done there by Black, away to Shuey. Chips one towards half forward. Tough one down low for Giro. And now the loose crumb.
He's got a free.
To Powell. It's going to come back.
I can't believe you guys haven't seen that episode of the Gyro.
I haven't seen any Seinfeld.
Oh, wake up yourself. Even if you've never seen a Seinfeld, you would have watched Seinfeld BP.
Yeah. Not as old as you two.
Giro long inside forward 50. Goldstein leading Darling head on, who was caught in that sandwich. And we'll have it thrown in. That was a behind, just trickled through just inside that left point post. So what do we got? 16 points. North Melbourne's way at the moment. Kicking for the Kangaroos was intended for Turner. Cut off by the intercept mark of McGovern.
What can they do here? They've got to get creative, find a small hole in the defence somewhere.
McGovern trying to get it to Darling, who was on a long lead, but his path was just blocked, and that one up the line. The kick there from Walker just inside the field of play and trickles over the boundary line.
A couple of dirty balls in there that just get in along the ground, rolling in. Give them some chance. They've got isolated Liam Ryan here in the goal square, and they're trying to get out of his way.
Goldstein won it down to Simpkin, coming through at full pace, just couldn't control it. And now the Eagles getting involved. I think there's a couple more jumper changes.
Luke Edwards, I think, has come into the game.
He's wearing 16, is that right?
He's the sub, so someone's been taken out of the game. I'll have to find out who that is.
I'm assuming Mountford might be 31 because we haven't got him listed all our numbers here. And he was, of course, brought in late in the piece when Nelson pulled out of the warm-up.
So he's not even on our backup list at Penny Ryan Centre, so we've got no hope.
So long high ball towards half forward here for the Eagles. The next one would make it interesting. Zeeble, Powell, way to Pollack. They make something of this, the Kangaroos. Nice little inboard kick to Lazaro. Lazaro's quick to move it. He's got an option at half forward. He spots up Turner. Taylor's long and deep. Larkey's drifting back towards the goal square. Turner's going to have a crack here.
Well, he's got no open making the distance.
And we'll go in short to Powell. Now way to Horn Francis. 45 from home. Just to the right-hand side. The roar every time.
They wanted to go up.
Gets ball in hand. The anticipation. 7-11-53, 5-6-36. Roos lead it. AFL Nation for Red Energy. Move with Red Energy and Regional Development Victoria.
13 and 4 tackles for Horn Francis.
He's been good.
Overall pick.
Yeah, been very good.
So the Eagles chipping around their back 50 here. All in the hands of Witherden, who's had a couple of costly turnovers at various stages of this match. Right boot looking for Williams. He's surrounded by 3 Roos. Almost the juggling mark for Zeeble. Ground level ball.
Well done,
McDonald bursting his way through. He's young. Chips it nicely to Marnie. Runs quickly. Lowers the eyes. Larkey's coming. And he was just blocked in front there. They did well, the Eagles. O'Neill. Now they work it out.
4-on-2 here if they can work their way through it.
Edwards, he just didn't get the elevation over to Williams and the mark.
He's paid that mark.
I don't think he marked it.
He paid here to Core.
The team mark.
Core will go back inside to Horn Francis. Horn Francis just gets around Giro. He wanted to really spread and get some width on that ball. Polak. Ambles inside to Walker. Back to Polak, who's going to have to kick on his right side. No, he found his left in the end. Diving down low, Turner takes the mark at half forward. So Turner lowers the eyes. He tries to get inside to Marty. Shuey got hands on it and he's able to butter up on the second attempt. Back to McGovern. McGovern now releases the kick. It's a good one to Petreski-Seaton.
Now they've got Willie Rioli and Liam Ryan deep forward. I'd be moving as quick as possible and dragging the rest of them out and letting them go to work.
So Eagles spread this ball across half back to Duggan. To Edwards.
Ryan free if you can see. He needs to get it there quickly.
It's going to come back inboard to Petreski-Seaton. Eagles trying to work their way through the defence of the Kangaroos here.
And Ryan's still by himself here.
They're going short back to Duggan, so not a lot of metres gain. Now they're going to concede some metres back. Maybe try and change the direction again here, the Eagles. Foley. McGovern. Try to make some headway, the West Coast Eagles. That's a good ball. And found Naish. And Naish is going to consider the ground back to Shuey. They're going to come back across here. Now they're going to go inboard. The drop mark on that occasion for the Eagles. That might allow the Roos in, although they get a second attempt here, West Coast. Shuey chips it out to Giro.
It's got to be patient. Eventually someone in the North defence, the team defence, will break down and they'll get through. So it looks slow, it looks tedious.
Giro up the line with the kick.
That's the alternative.
The only one that looked like he was going to take that mark was Josh Walker, who comes back to Zeeble at halfback. Little chip to Aaron Hall, who always likes to run and gun. And the Roos lead it here by 17 points. We've ticked over nearly 21 minutes on the Makita clock rule, the outdoors.
Been a bit of a ho-hum quarter, hasn't it?
Zeeble flares it wide. Polak in short to Taylor. Larky's deep. Doesn't quite get there with that kick. It's a nice little hit up to half forward. Some real strong stuff from McGovern that wasn't required. Coming right in and pounding Turner.
Yeah, he's just late. It's unnecessary.
Because
yeah.
they've toiled away. They've hung in there.
Well, I mean, Kane Turner's got the ball 55 metres out. I mean, he's not making the distance. Not sure why he was so aggressive on that spoil.
So Turner a certainty for his second. Just to keep that scoreboard at a nice breathing distance from North Melbourne. 8:11.59, 5:6:36 for the Eagles. AFL Nation for Icon Solutions that matter. Your national integrated property and service solution. So Lucky's kick 4 and Turner becomes the other multiple goal kicker for the Roos with 2.
Starting to get right on top for safety. Steele sheds 282 to 218 disposals, up 22 contested possession, up 57 in uncontested possession, up 14 in marks. So 11 to 6 marks inside 50. So they're up plenty in terms of general statistics. They probably should be further in front. And to be honest, West Coast have given them 1 or 2 as well. So North would want to, only 4 or 5 minutes to go in this quarter, but they want to really kick away and put this game away in the next sort of 30 or 40 minutes.
Our experts for buymystock.com.au, Josh Jenkins. Liam Pickering this afternoon. Williams and Cherry fly. No decisive attack. Greenwood able to get on the left boot. Rolling ball towards half forward. Nicely trapped here by Marnie. Swept a handball over the top. Simpkin was taken down in the tackle and they set upon him and that ball's locked up. Creeping to True's centre half forward. Williams, Cherry. His work at Grand Little as well, the big man wearing number 38 has had to do an apprenticeship and work his way into this North Melbourne team.
He's very, very lucky there, O'Neill. He actually should have given the handball when he came out of the pack. Just trying to do a little bit too much.
That's the free kick in the end against Greenwood. Parked at centre half back. And you will flare it wide to Hearn. So Hearn will just chip a little short ball to Foley. Once again, the Eagles trying to pierce their way through. Melbourne trying to prevent that with the way they set up the ground here. Witherden takes the mark just inside the boundary line in front of Zeeble. 2 Williams targets are up the line. There's one of them. Nice grab over the top. That was Bailey Williams. Thanks to hangmytv.com.au. And the chips it to Petreski-Seaton. This is O'Neill. Charging at it, Rioli. Nice little inventive tap through the legs for O'Neill. He puts the afterburners on. He was dragged down in the tackle. Ryan trying to be creative close to the boundary line, but it deflects out.
What about that?
30 around from the goal.
Willie, a little tunnel ball action. Almost came off too. Well, it did come off, but they couldn't quite capitalise.
Not good scenes here. There's an ambulance in the stretcher going into the rooms in the North Melbourne, I assume for Tarrant Thomas.
Free kick, just while we're keeping an eye on that.
Rioli's going to get the free here for a high tackle. Clothesline.
So the ambulance is outside the North Melbourne rooms.
Must be some concerns over his lungs or kidney or...
Yeah. He did land really awkwardly. I don't think it was from any contact apart from when he landed. It appeared to be the case, but he must be having trouble breathing.
Keep an eye on that. Rioli's on the runway now. He's going to line up for his 4th.
He's been good.
Certainly made the umpire aware of the high contact, but it was definitely there.
Should be able to convert here, Willie Rioli. Look like missing this afternoon. No problems there. They stay in touch again, the Eagles. 6-6-42. North Melbourne 8-11-59. Victoria Police Assistance Line scoreboard. Rioli's kicked 4 for the afternoon. Larky's also kicked 4 at the other end for the Kangaroos.
He's looked the most dangerous player on the ground, really, Willie Rioli.
Not only has he kicked 4, he's had 17 disposals, 88% efficiency. So he's been very effective every time he's touched the ball. 7 score involvements. They've only had 12 scores, so he's been involved in basically everything. 3 clearances, 3 inside 50. So one of the best games we've seen Willie play.
Who gets the top nod, Josh? As we speak, player of the day for Whirlpool Kitchen and Laundry Appliances.
I think I'd go with Hugh Greenwood in the middle.
Oh, no.
I think I would. The goal scorers can... Well, they're down by 3 goals. If they win, they give them the 3-2 and the 1.
It doesn't worry. I think the best player on the ground doesn't matter whether they're a winning side or not.
Williams won the tap. We continue to debate that. Here's Simpkin. Horn Francis. Back to Hugh Greenwood. The left boot inside forward 50 for the Roos. Larky up. McGovern with the fist. Zerha trying to get it back to Larky. It bounced off him. Hearn was able to get the crumb. Witherden. He's turned over a couple of times. He held on to it for quite some time. And now the exit kick for the Eagles. It's a 2-on-1 though for the Kangaroos. McDonald able to gather. We know he uses it well by foot. Inside forward 50. Just doesn't get over the back though to Greenwood. And it was cut off by Foley here for West Coast.
What are his numbers for Greenwood?
He's had 22, 8 tackles and 8 clearances.
Okay, yeah. Still wouldn't have him best.
Just got over 2 minutes remaining to 3/4 time. Eagles trying to launch another attempt forward here. It was a boundary line kick. It was Darling. It was Walker going head to head. And offhands right on the wing. Far side of the ground for us. 27 minutes elapsed. So a crucial little period here for West Coast for New Farmer. Straight in through and through. They certainly don't want to concede one late, but they love a real spirit lifter.
He got kicked in the guts. Thomas.
Francis was taken in the tackle. Now West Coast away through Kelly, but it was Darling working back towards goal, and the kick fell short of that and into the hands of Walker. And he put it on the head of Sherry. Strong to mark though, the stronger body in front of Kelly.
Saw a replay. Went to lay a smother.
Is that what it was?
He got kicked right in the midriff.
So Sherry just a high up and under. Up the wing. Larky flew from behind. Petreski's seat was at the drop of the footy. Does the 360 turn. Hooks it back towards half forward. Darling was there and also Kelly, but it's the Roos who will win it. Aaron Hall, he fed it across. McDonald concedes a little bit of ground. They work it back to Core. So Core inside defensive 50. knowing the scenario, the time left in this third quarter, inside the last minute. Now the long exit kick. Up went Horn Francis with a fly. And a free kick. Oh. Will be given.
He's gone the other way. I was going to say, that made no sense.
Umpire was just getting that sorted. I thought that was the case. Early fly from Horn Francis. Here's Bailey Williams. Last attempt here for West Coast. The kick inside forward 50. Can they pluck a mark? Oh. Up goes for Rioli. Couldn't take the mark. Ryan was in the vicinity. And now North Melbourne might just be able to hold it up. Ball ricocheted out. Mark taken here by Curtis Taylor.
Well, North did give up a late goal in the second quarter.
Taylor with a good ball up the line to Cherry.
15 seconds left in the quarter.
Just about all she wrote scoreboard-wise.
Catch that.
Almost hitting the roof. Goldstein bounced off his chest. Simpkin was there. Siren imminent for three-quarter time. And the Kangaroos continue to maintain the advantage here at Marvel Stadium. 8:11:59. West Coast, with all sorts of adversity this afternoon, are in touch. 6-6-42. Just those goal kickers. 4 to Rioli, singles to Williams and Liam Duggan. 4 to Lucky for the Kangaroos. 2 to Turner, singles to Thomas, who's in a spot of bother, no doubt, in the rooms. We've just spoken about the ambulance being around the North Melbourne room, so we'll try and update you on that as soon as possible. Marnie, the other goal kicker for the Roos. Big final quarter coming up. We'll bring you that next here on AFL Nation.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Mate Internet and Mobile, Australia's most satisfied NBN customers. Internet from $59.
For Australian designed and engineered storage solutions for your ute that'll keep your stuff safe and secure, see TC Boxes. Their trays, canopies and toolboxes are perfect for on the job and awesome for a spot or weekend camping with the mates. Visit tcboxes.com.au.
SMEG double your cashback sale on now at Designer Appliances. Get up to $1,000 cash card plus up to $1,000 Visa gift card on selected SMEG appliances. Designer Appliances, Bendigo, Camberwell, Heidelberg, Rosebud and Wanturna South.
If you're waking up with a sore neck or back, you need the Spinal Ease pillow. I've been using it now for nearly a year and I've never had a deeper sleep. It aligns your head and neck for a great night's sleep. Plus, check out the new Spinal Ease mattress with the revolutionary button, letting you select the perfect firmness level with a 100-night comfort promise with the push of a button. All with the latest technology and 100% Aussie made. Order yours at spinalease.com.au. That's spinaleze.com.au.
Hard Yakka. Toughness is our DNA. No shortcuts. Born in 1930, Hard Yakka's legendary status is in its heritage. Work hard, play hard. And we don't play by the rules. We write them. That's why we've designed the ultimate men's and women's gear and boots for your no-nonsense lifestyle. Designed to work hard on the job or on your weekend adventures. So do your mate or family member a favour. Get them the gear that'll make them feel like a legend. They'll thank you for it. Head to hardyakka.com.au or visit your nearest stockist today.
Every group of mates has one. The bloke who avoids his shout.
Oh, I left my wallet in the car.
Mate, use your phone.
Oh, it's gone flat, mate. Can you cover me?
With a Signet power bank, there's no more running out of charge when you or your mates need it most.
Take my Signet power bank, mate. Charge up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll get this round and the next. I owe you one.
Aussie owned, Aussie designed. Power your life with a Signet power bank. Signet.com.
Rockstar Games' blockbuster Grand Theft Auto Online is now available for free on PlayStation 5. Chart your rise from the streets to criminal kingpin in a living online world with stunning new visuals, haptic feedback from the DualSense wireless controller, and more. Migrate your existing GTA Online characters and progress for special bonuses. Get GTA Online on PS5 for free until June 14th via the PlayStation 5 console store. PlayStation Plus required to play.
PlayStation. From first-time browsing to big-time arousing, Sexyland is all about fun. We have Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, couples' toys, fun gifts and games for adults. And our team of fun specialists are always here to help in-store and online. Sexyland 11 stores open 7 days until midnight in Melbourne and Geelong, or shop online and get 2-hour delivery.
Take me now, I'm coming. Take me now, Sexyland.
Star 21 offers a new approach to your enterprise mobility strategy. Imagine a solution that's more flexible, secure and future-proof, keeping your business moving during these uncertain times. Star 21 delivers tailored mobility solutions that best meet your business needs using Telstra's 5G mobile network. Call the Telstra Enterprise Partner of the Year on 1300 Star 21 to discover the difference.
Star 21. With so many colours, styles and designs available, it's difficult to choose the best flooring for your home and lifestyle. With the Choices Flooring What's Your Lifestyle sale, you can download our lifestyle collection catalogues. Whether your look is coastal, suburban, inner city or country, there's over 100 pages packed full of ideas and savings to find the right flooring style for your lifestyle. Choices Flooring, the floor you've been searching for.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. For all your tiling needs, in stock now.
Almost brought down by O'Neill. Able to input into a little bit of space over the top. Jerry links up with Marty. Now Marty says, come to me, Larky. He gets the hands up, hit the pack hard, front and square with Zerha to Simpkin. Certain goal coming up for the Kangaroos, and Turner walks into the open goal and kicks it into the top deck. The Kangaroos stretch their lead.
AFL Nation highlights for McDonald's. Footy's back and I'm loving it. Never miss a single goal with McDelivery.
Three-quarter time here at Marvel Stadium. North Melbourne holding sway 8-11-59. Looking for win number 1 of the year. West Coast. The depleted West Coast Eagles 6-6-42. So they've done a pretty good job to stick around here with the amount of outs, Josh and Pickers. Not a game that's overly inspiring us, but North Melbourne had to come today and just get the job done. And you feel like it's probably going to end that way. But, gee, if the Eagles could get maybe a goal here early, who knows?
You wouldn't. If you had gone into both huddles, and we're only assuming, but I reckon there would have been a lot of optimism in the Eagles huddle. We're in this, we can actually do this. Let's take the game on. I reckon North would be a bit frustrated because they'd expect to be 6, 7, 8 goals up, and they just haven't been able to capitalise. So, interesting dynamic in terms of the mindset of both teams going into the final 30.
They are a man down, North Melbourne, let's not forget. Karen Thomas off to the hospital. But North, well, the firepower of North is keeping them, really, their lack of scoring is keeping West Coast in this match. But West Coast get a quick one, it'll be game on. They get an early goal in this last quarter.
Footy's back and I'm loving it. I'll never miss a single goal with Mick Delivery. Opening bounce here for Tyre Power, kicking goals. 25% off those Kumo tyres. Goals team won the tap. Simpkin works it forward. Zerha trying to get away from Foley. Foley's got him in the tackle. Still able to free up the arms. A chance here for Turner. Right foot snap hits the post. And the beautiful start inside the first 20 seconds.
Well, that would have taken the wind out of the West Coast sails if North got a quick one.
Instant windscreen scoreboard. Broken windscreen, give them a call. 1-3-2 444. It's a margin of 18 points. 3 goals for the West Coast to pull back here. It's Witherden deep in defence. He hugs the boundary line. Now the release kick outside defensive 50. Big fist in there from Goldstein. Little tap from Petreski-Seaton. Then Horn Francis beats him for a turn of speed. It was clean hands. Scott got involved. Away to Core. Trying to come back up the middle of the ground. Marty was met there by Hearn.
Oh, well done.
Big
Great
tackle
pressure
by Ryan. Now the Eagles through Hearn. Petreski-Seaton, he was trying to get it to Giro, but he had to control it first. Then Ryan's come through. He's cut a path, Liam Ryan. Long ball from 55. It's got the journey. It's not quite the accuracy out to the left-hand side.
Would have been something.
He's exciting too, isn't he? Ryan. Jeez. In the air and on the ground.
Yep.
He took a while to get picked up, didn't he? He wasn't an 18-year-old, I don't think, when he was drafted. I think he had a few years in the waffle, like Tim Kelly.
Aaron Hall with the kick out. He was looking in the Larky direction. Shuey got hands to it. He was tackled. Hall escapes. Marnie. Hall bobbing around. Shuey still competing. Dribbles one inside forward 50. Only as far as Aaron Hall. He'll measure a short one to Curtis Taylor at half-back. Taylor didn't quite see Ryan. He was able to work it to Hall. Now the Kangaroos through Zeeble. Get it over the back. Jerry has a good handle and he's caught one through him. the way there. Was Marley getting involved now to Zerha. Larkey works his man underneath the footy. Gets out the back, Turner. Back to Larkey. Hasn't looked like missing this afternoon outside of the boot goal. 5 for Nick Larkey. Kangaroos 9-12-66. Stretch the margin here at Marvel Stadium on the instant windscreen scoreboard. 1-3-2-444. If you've got a broken windscreen, give them a call. Eagles 6-7-43.
I'm not sure where Petreski-Seaton's at, whether he's underdone or he's carrying something, but his work rate's nowhere near at the level of AFL football.
Especially fumbly, crucial moments as well, and that shows a...
Like, he was a passenger in that whole passenger play then. They both had a loose man, North, because of his lack of work rate.
He doesn't look in great nick. He's got his knee strapped and he looks like he's hobbling a little bit. So it's not saying it's purely conditioning, but he just doesn't look like he's covering the ground that well.
We're back in the middle we go. Goldstein, Williams over the top. Trying to follow up at ground level as well. Eagles trickle it towards half forward. Trying to invent something there, Petreski-Seaton. Williams, he's kept running. Away to Petruccelli with a flying shot at goal. It's going to go to the left-hand side also.
See that bit of play with Petreski-Seaton?
That's... not sure.
I think he's carrying an injury.
He's got a lot of strapping on his left leg and he's not moving like he can.
Margin 22 points here for North Melbourne. Core under pressure. Releases the kick to Walker.
And look, he may only be in the team because they have to put him in. Right. You know, I mean, he probably on their plan, he's probably 3 weeks away from playing.
That's right. That's why you don't want to be critical of him because you just don't know what's going on.
Walker, Goldstein up, took the mark.
Yeah, he's coming off now.
Right in front of us, Goldstein with a quick ball through the air to Zerha.
Larky's charging back.
He's put it in my direction, Cam. And it's going to fall short though, and McGovern gets a fist on that out of bounds, but the Kangaroos get it in deep inside 50. They led it by 22 points, 4.5 treble. That's on the Makita clock, rule the outdoors. They got the Eagles measure this afternoon, but they've been plucky West Coast. They hung around. Goldstein to the front. Zerha trying to flex his muscle. Foley wraps him up in the tackle, but just dumped him at the last minute. It's part of that tackle. Doesn't like it. It's going to be a Zerha free kick.
I love those free kicks. You can't sling and you can't throw.
That was a bit unlucky, I think.
Sort of Zerha loses his feet as well, as much as the tackler does or has anything to do with it.
It's like that Davies Uniac one before. That wasn't a free kick.
I saw that on the Easy Debit replay. Join Easy Debit today. Charging. Impact just late brought the free kick, and Zerha never looked like that off the boot. Out to the right-hand side, scraping in for a behind. 9-13-67, West Coast 6-8-44. Instant windscreens, 1-3-2-444. If you've got a broken windscreen, get onto that number immediately. He's Witherden, who'll come out of his defensive goal square, launches a long drop punt in the direction of Williams. Big fist in from Goldstein. Obviously taken here by the Eagles at the drop of the footy. Kick then was smothered, trying to cut back through the middle. Goldstein wrapped up by Duggan. Ball spills out. They'll sit over the top here. Aaron Hall will be on the bottom of that pack for the Roos. Ball stops.
Librioli's had enough. He's out of there. He's going to the bench. Not an opportune time to run to the bench, and he's running to the wrong bench as well.
Petruccelli, he was able to extract it. So 1-on-1 at half forward. Darling v Core. Core's got Darling covered. Off hands, out of bounds, right on attacking 50 here for the Eagles. So the Kangaroos are going to get an early win in the season in this rebuilding phase under David Noble. A little kick extracted out of that pack by the Eagles. Giro. And that ball will just evade him as it goes over the boundary line. And pretty much in the same spot here for the West Coast with a boundary throw in to come. Just about to get underway. Richmond and the Giants will keep you across that for Chemist Warehouse. Great savings every day. Fremantle and St Kilda a little bit later on. Williams and Goldstein, no decisive tap. Burrowing in there is Lockie Young. And over the top of him, that ball's not coming out, so the umpire will go to work again.
Bruce doctors are just watching that replay screen down there. Surely they're not. I reckon there was another.
Andy Williams competing in the ruck. Loose ball comes out. Petrocelli. He works it to Black. Black trying to pull it back. That's not a bad kick at all. That's a beauty.
That's a hard starter.
They get around him too.
Well, wouldn't they? Fantastic, wasn't it? Good goal.
Just stay around here, the Eagles. That's a good goal. That's definitely a goal of the game contender for Host Plus. That's a plus. 9-13-67, 7-8-50. Kangaroos by 17.
Well, I haven't it's been the margin really since half time, hasn't it? Since quarter time. It's 18 points at half time, the margin. Sorry, since the second quarter. 18 points, 17 points at three-quarter time. We're back where we were, 17 points. So next goal's very, very important in this game.
Eagles top-ups have all had a bit of the footy.
Give us some of their numbers, JJ.
Mountford's had 7. Duar's had 7. Your man Gyro's had 9. Black's had 10 in the goal, so they've all haven't looked out of place.
No. All done a bit.
So back in the middle we go. Cherry up against Williams. Williams with a nice leap over the top. Kelly was trying to win it, but falls back to Jerry. He kicks it towards half forward. Thumped away from Marnie. Loose ball to be won. There's that man wearing number 31, who's not officially on the stats sheet.
Whoever he is, he's quick.
And it'll be Turner's ball here for the Kangaroos.
I think the TV commentators at least know what his name is.
Well, I think it has to be Mountford. They've changed his number because he was listed as 52. But come on, that's a big ball inside 50. But Jamison, a free kick's going to go to the Roos.
Yeah, it was there. Unfortunately for the Eagles, it was there.
Larkey impeded. We'll get a replay on that. A day out for Nick Larkey with the 5 goals.
Yeah, Luke Edwards just clumsily sort of jumped all over his back before the ball was anywhere near the contest. They had 2v1 as well.
Totally unnecessary.
Just a young player panicking.
So Nick Larkey to stretch the margin for the Kangaroos. That one.
Funny old kick.
Back to the right.
Okay.
Just in for a behind.
Lob wedge.
Lob.
9-14-68, 7-8-50.
I'm back. 5-3 for Larkey, so he's left a couple out there.
All in the hands of Naish from the kick in. Naish is going to come back up. It's a good ball into the corridor at half back. That's the way the Eagles are going to go from here, and a 50.
All right.
Darling's out the back here. Should just send it.
That's where he should be going.
Just
straight to
send it.
Darling. He's going to too.
Long ball towards Darling.
Walker gets back.
Ryan's at the front. He's got to go to defensive fist in the end, Darling. Ryan trying to skirt the pack. O'Neill, good tackle. Roos not out of danger here yet. Trying to spin his way through, and then a sweeping handball by McDonald. And surrounded, but a bit clumsy, the tackle.
Gee, McDonald did well then to get back and help out.
Could have won that back. The Eagles had all the numbers around the footy on that occasion, but North Melbourne win the free kick. All spreads to Polak. Going short to Zurhar. So Zurhar has ball at half back. 9-14-68, West Coast 7-8-50. AFL Nation here under the roof at Marvel Stadium. 11 minutes gone of the final quarter. That's where we're at.
No aerial target here.
A fly from Horn Francis. He's got to deal with McHern. He's got to deal with Duggan. Duggan comes off for a spell, as does Kelly. And a boundary update for Snaffle. Bite-size payments win. By to reload. Goldstein will go at it. Wins the tap. Shuey was able to read it best. He sharked it nicely away to Black. He throws it on the boot. Ryan with the fly. He was bit heavily too.
Had to be.
Clumsy from Zeeble.
I don't know what Zeeble was doing then.
Doesn't need to do that.
Leads his case, but obvious to us.
You can't attack someone front on like that. And expect it's not going to be a free kick. Of course it was going to be a free kick.
So the Eagles have a chance here through Ryan.
Well, this will make
the footy Zeeble.
Knock this home. back to 2 goals.
Just keep hanging around. So Ryan, very deliberate in his approach. Little skip up now. Past 50 he goes. Little right arc.
Yes.
And that one he's going to hang out to the right.
He's pushed one either side this quarter. Off the boot, I thought that was home.
17 points the margin. 12 and a half minutes gone of this final quarter. That's the way of the Kangaroos. Zeeble puts it back into play to Core. Core will spread this to Walker. So work it to half back. He'll come back to Core. Core's going to come back to Bonnet. So they come back to their defensive goal square. Chipping it around the back 50 here, the Kangaroos. He was trying to press up here. Ryan's got the intercept. He read it nicely. He's cut off that footy.
They get what they deserve there, kicking it like that. Like, take some meterage. They've got tools all over the ground. Actually play with a positive mindset and take the ball forward. They're just chipping it sideways.
But he kicked the tougher one from the boundary line. Liam Ryan trying to bring it back. And the Roos will get it through for a rush behind. And he was able to curl it back, couldn't get the elevation. So a couple of opportunities to really put some genuine heat on the Roos. And Zeeble now with the clearing kick. Hearn at the back. Got the crumb. Feeds it to Williams. Did nicely, trying to hit a target inside forward 50, but cutting across was Tom Powell. He took the mark. He's missed on the young. Black's at the back. It's Nash, in fact. Nash on the right boot. And he goes across the face, and he'll tumble that footy into the left forward pocket. Eagles deep.
Well, they're starting to get some repeat inside 50s, though, the Eagles.
And a couple of okay things. The son of former Richmond Tiger Chris Nash. Some speed.
Used to love Chris Nash back in the day.
He's a good little player, Chris.
Friday night, lighting up the MCG with his pace. 20 metres out from the Eagles' goal. Can they snaffle one here? North Melbourne defending. Petrisky Seaton wrapped up by Powell. Only 25 metres out. 16 points in arrears, the Eagles. Next one. Makes it very interesting. Goldstein won it down. McDonald trying to work it back boundary side with the handball. Into the hands here of Ryan. Can he spot up a target? He's got a few on offer. Didn't quite hit either, but Witherden under a bit of pressure. Eagles wrapped up in the tackle.
Well,
and gone.
The one thing you don't get away with these days is the players can all tackle well. Very hard to break tackles.
Geez, they've had some opportunities, West Coast.
Yeah, he butchered that Liam Ryan then.
So it's Larky's ball, a long way from where he's done his best work this afternoon. Cherry the target. Williams come over the top. McDonald at ground level. Big ball to be won here. Horn Francis.
I don't know about that. I mean, it's the rule. It's the rule, but that's a risky kick too.
Oh, he's missed the target coming inboard. Might be okay though for the Roos. They're able to gather. Young inside forward 50, but doesn't get it over the top to Zerha. McGovern took the mark and gives it to Hearn. Hearn to Foley.
The Roos, when they go quick, they go slow, and when they need to go slow, they pull one through the middle and almost turn it over.
Well, that's the exuberance of youth. I'm pretty sure an experienced player wouldn't have gone for that kick, which Horn Francis did.
So the ball in the hands of Black. They're at half-back here, the Eagles. Just the required journey to Foley. Only 16 minutes have elapsed. Foley towards centre-half forward. Misses O'Neill. Coming across was Bonner. Goldstein. Horn Francis. The right boot is going to go out of bounds on the full. Another chance here for West Coast.
Kick that to Burma Harvey. Simo would have given Burma a game today.
No doubt about that.
So Aaron Black will take the free kick just in front of the interchange gates. He'll kick it down towards centre-half forward. Big Fly Williams fist in there from Goldstein. Lurking for the crumb is Liam Ryan. Escapes the tackle. Handballs towards Petrocelli, but I think the boundary umpire was darting around.
We had a pretty good look at that.
Yeah. Very delayed reaction, wasn't it?
41 okay, this is just in, but the boundary umpire's called it. And he throws it back into play. Goldstein with a hand over the top. 45 from home for the Eagles, burrowing in his shoey, trying to extract it out. Nation there as well. Ball's going to be locked up.
Luke Shuey's been very good.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it mightn't show too much on the stat sheet. He has had 21 and 8 tackles, but he's been leading the way. He's been inspirational the way he's tried to lead his boys.
Darling got hands to it. Here's Nash at the drop of the footy. That's a good handball to Black. Round the body with the kick. High ball right down towards the teeth of goal. They all fly. There's the fist in for the Roos. No.
Free against Willie.
Not the worst free kick to give away there.
No, it was not.
Go to Walker. In the air.
Where they get themselves in trouble, North.
Accumulate nothing, kicks and marks, don't they, Pickers?
Well, they're not, as you said earlier, they're not taking territory.
Walker in short to Zeeble. He's hemmed in the back pocket. Zeeble now releases with the kick. Cherry direction.
Had no right to go for
Tug
that
of the
ball
jumper. Yeah, West Coast ball. To Williams.
Foley, I should say. He should not have gone for that.
So Bailey Williams to put it back inside 50 for the Eagles. Just a high ball. Can someone fly? Right, underneath that, the back though, Darling's got it. So Darling with a rare touch.
Go around the corner here, will he?
Yeah, he will, I think.
He's been unsighted, only 5 disposals, so he's only going to come up here for his...
Missed it.
Darling's gone out to the right-hand side.
It was only his second kick.
They have had their opportunities, no doubt, West Coast.
He's been well held, hasn't he, today, Jack Darling?
North by 15 points. Instant windscreen scoreboard, broken windscreen, give them a call. 1-3-2 444.
That's 50 against Willie there. Or Liam Ryan, one of the two.
So North had worked at the half-back. They now get the advantage of the 50-metre penalty.
Jeez.
Takes Marley to the heart of Marvel Stadium. He's going to flare it wide. The runs come from behind there by Powell. Zerha, Goldstein are deep. Larky as well. Then Zerha offers up the lead into space. Lace-out pass. Good sign for a right footer to come around here and open up the angle if he needs to.
Instead of it being it should be a one-goal game, probably. 8 points, maybe.
Yep.
This will probably... He kicks this.
Couple of steps out to the right.
Yes,
he's not hit the middle of the belly there at all. It's a mung kick. 30 metres out from goal here for North Melbourne.
This is deliberate for sure.
Witherden's just gone straight for the boundary line. Hello. I think we'll know the obvious left hand of the umpire. He says you can't be doing that.
Oh, he was just trying to get it forward, but I mean, he just didn't hit it right.
Here's McDonald. Long ball inside forward 50. Jamison trying to get the spoil. Ball trying to get over the back for the Roos. Still alive, Goldstein. And Witherden gets to work. Away to Duggan. Not out of the danger. He's come right at the middle of the ground. Got to try and make something happen. The West Coast of the clock ticking. Ryan was just worked off it by Hall.
Did well.
Hall did very well to win that battle and left a short kick to Marnie. Marnie holds it for a moment.
Good ball by Aaron Hall, that one. Because it got out the other side. Could have just seen Liam Ryan going on a long run there off half-back.
So Marnie gets the skip up now. He's going to go to a lead coming. He's trying to get it to Larky. It's cut off. Nash just over Darling. Allowed Core to get the spoil.
A good call.
Working it through Zeeble. Spirals one inside 50. Eagles will take the mark though. Witherden. Just got to keep being creative and get the ball moving here, West Coast. Nicely done by Hearn. Gets it over the top. Taken here for West Coast. McGovern trying to make something happen. He keeps the ball central. Ryan's the target to get it over the top. Core got in his path. Who can win the ground level ball here? Core did nicely. Cherry tries to put into the path there of Lazaro, cut off by Foley.
3v2 here on the broadcast side.
Foley short to Duggan. Shuey. He's got the run going past Foley. Dragged down by Lazaro and the tackle and gone.
Yeah, that's on you, Luke Shuey. You had to see who was behind him. And he did. He still fed him the handball and got him into all sorts of trouble.
So North Melbourne with possession across halfback. Jared Pollock will take the mark. Further afield. Juggling mark taken by Zerha. 9:14.68 the Roos. West Coast 7:11.53. Gone 21 minutes. Around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse. Giants 1-1-7. Richmond 3 behinds. first quarter. On a beautiful day of sunshine at the MCG. Fremantle and St Kilda to come. Petreski-Seaton trying to work it at ground level. Laxmed head on. Eagles extract another kick, but the Roos have got plenty of numbers behind the footy. One of those is Walker. It wasn't a great handball to McDonald. He said, I'll give it back to you. You can release it by foot. Horn Francis with a juggling mark. Caught one in the solar plexus on the way through. So Horn Francis, little ginger getting up.
Aaron Black's feeling the effects of AFL footy. Full double leg cramp.
So Horn Francis giving the wave on here. He takes his time. He gets himself right. Just pops it up. Keep an eye on him. Inside forward. 50 to fly from Larky. I feel pretty safe putting it in his direction more often than not. Going to mark the footy or throughout the spill.
Third contested mark for Nick Larky. He's been good. Been excellent. Really deserves another one, doesn't he?
5 for the day. Horn Francis comes off.
They love him, don't they?
They love him. I know he's not from Victoria. They've got to keep him happy.
Larky for goal number 6. We're right behind it. He's never in doubt.
He's happy. He's saying, come and get around me.
Icing the game for the Roos.
Big 6.
Who's your biggest haul?
8 once.
Yeah.
We lost.
Well, jump goals, really?
A few of your teammates could have come with me.
Who'd you play?
Dogs. Right here it was.
So you would think certainly that the Roos win it from here for Host Plus, the industry super fund for all Australians. Thank you very much.
Just in sync here.
DMG on
Sunday
the
Arvo.
ball.
That's it.
Back in the studio. Here we go. Roos by 21, 10-14-74. West Coast 7-11-53. A day out for Nick Larky with 6. Williams with a big fly, but Goldstein was able to take it away to Greenwood. Spiral the left boot towards half forward. Lazaro trying to run under the footy. Dragged there by Duggan. Good tackle. And he gets the reward at half back. And Duggan comes immediately into the corridor. Petreski-Seaton. The hit up to Liam Ryan. Juggling mark out in front of the eyes. Chopping the arms. He'll win possession of the footy. And now Ryan will drill it inside, trying to get it to Darling, who almost completed the mark.
Teammate
the
might have
Eagles
just
have got it deep.
Might have been about to complete that mark, and Mountford might have just snatched it. A dirty old day for Jack Darling, but again, he's probably underdone as well. He may not be ready for AFL footy either.
Goldstein on it down. Greenwood. Had to kick, not the required duty. Shuey.
Good try, Luke.
Edwards got involved. Away to Duggan. Duggan kicks inside forward 50. It's spoiled in there by Greenwood in the air. Goldstein going to work at ground level. Greenwood hacks the kick again. Rolls through Zerha. West Coast have got the number at the back in McGovern patrolling. And now launching back inside, attacking 50. Goldstein comes over the top with a big spoil. Out of bounds, the Sharon goes. Kangas have got this one, you think. 10-14-74. West Coast 7-11-53. Around the grounds, Chemist Warehouse Tigers 5 behinds. The Giants 1-1-7. Got about 5 to play in the first quarter. West Coast trying to snaffle one here. Clearing kick from the Kangaroos will be judged deliberate.
8 marks inside 50 for West Coast, but I tell you, they've kicked it long and high in there a lot for no result.
There goes another high one in. Duggan. There's a free kick downfield.
Willie
plucked out here, so it's. It's going to go to
Petruccelli, is it?
No, they're wearing number 31.
Mountford.
Oh, this is young Mountford, is it?
It is Mountford, yeah.
The former Roo.
Let's see what comes up on the TV screen. They might have more of an idea than we do.
And he's kicked it. So slots it home. That is on the instant win screen scoreboard. So the Eagles get one back. Clock ticking to the end of this one.
Good on him. What about he's situation. So he gets delisted by North. He goes and finds a waffle club. Doesn't get drafted. Gets put on a COVID top-up list. Is the emergency, travels. I'm not going to play, but I didn't think I'd be here anyway. Jackson Nelson pulls out a minute before the game, and he plays and he kicks his first goal for the Eagles. So
Adam Simpson looks pretty happy. He should be too. His team's put on a real competitive performance. 11
disposals, 4 inside 50s in that goal for Mountford. So he's done his bit.
AFL Nation for Red Energy move with Red Energy and Regional Development Victoria. Back in the middle we go. So Eagles with a fly. Ground level ball for Kelly. And he's met by two Roos. Tough Greenwood always applying a tackle. And also Jerry. I've liked his game, the big man. In the air, on the ground, Josh.
Agreed.
Want to really announce himself as a key tall alongside Todd Goldstein. Coleman Jones left out that we talked about, so the Roos will continue to think about that on a weekly basis. Larky with 6 has been so powerful up forward today, and Goldstein's had the capacity to drift forward as well. Here's Foley trying to work his way through, took on Powell. Not to great effect. Free kick. Holding the ball. Who's been the tackler of the game, or the key tackle of the day for Toro? Count on it. Stood out for you.
Shuey's had 9. Hugh Greenwood 8. Petreski Seaton's had 8. So whilst he's been struggling to cover the ground, he's been getting involved in on the tackling front.
How many possessions has he had though?
19. Has he? Yes. A few little dinky kicks along the ground. They all add up. Be better for the run, hopefully.
Yeah, he will be, definitely.
Ball throw back in. Cherry, the palm down. And tackled immediately, the Roos in the tackle. That was Black.
I think Kelly's gone right out of this game.
That'll be it. The Roos, well, they just had to come and get it done today, and they have. 10-14-74 to 8-11-59. So the goal kickers this afternoon for North Melbourne, Nick Larkey was 6. Kane Turner has kicked a couple. And singles to Marnie and also Taron Thomas. We'll try and get an update in the rooms very, very shortly. We'll head down there because he wasn't in a good way. Taron Thomas for the West Coast Eagles. Rioli's kicked 4 and singles to Bailey Williams and also Liam Duggan this afternoon for the West Coast Eagles. So we'll go through some numbers very, very shortly, but just a quick thought, gents. I mean, the Roos have got it done. That's important for them, for a team that didn't win too many games last year, to get an early win in the season.
Yeah, they didn't do much more than get it done, BP, did they? It was ugly, it was scrappy. Nick Larkey kicked 6 of the 10 goals. In reality, particularly in the early part of that fourth quarter, we should have had a one-goal game. West Coast just couldn't capitalise. Liam Ryan missed a few. Jack Darling missed one that he should have kicked, and it should have been a ball game. But in the end, just numbers prevailed, and the Roos got the all-important win and moved to 1-1.
Yeah, it was a good effort in the end, just to get over the line. But you know, they'd want to be playing a bit better than that against the opposition they're going to come up against in the next few weeks. But great effort by Nick Larkey, and the bigger guys did pretty well this afternoon. But West Coast, I thought, weren't disgraced at all by any stretch.
Yeah, just had to win the game. They just had to win that game because they've got. We'll talk about it later, but they've got a brutal run. The Roos
had to get it done. Our post-game show for Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops. Answer the Camel's call. Thirsty Camel Bottle Shop. So final score here, just turning on the radio, 10-14-74 the Kangaroos, West Coast 8-11-59 if you need Victoria Police, but not the sirens. Call the police assistance line 132 131 444. We'll get into some awards pretty shortly. What about for the Eagles today? It was always going to be a tough assignment, but they hung around, and Adam Simpson spoke during the week, Josh, about whatever the result, they could take some real positives out of just the scenario. And if they got a win, it would have been magnificent. But to be around the mark with a depleted lineup would give this group a fair bit just to go back home thinking, okay, we came and mixed it. The spirit's generally been pretty good around the club all week in the tough situation they're in COVID-wise. So you've got to take some positives out.
Yeah, well, they have to, because they couldn't afford to come here and say, this is way too hard, and we're flying to Melbourne. We usually fly 2 days before. We don't even know when we're going to fly, who's going to play. Because the reality is they might have to face this situation 2 or 3 or 4 times as their players all sort of contract the virus and become close contacts. The rules are a lot different over there. So if they just decided, look, when we don't have a side, we're not going to really put in, well, they become 0-4, 0-5, and then from there, when you get your cattle back, it's too late anyway.
Yep.
So they've got to find a way to keep the spirit and the morale high. And I think they'll travel home pretty happy with their efforts, Pickers.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Adam Simpson would be very happy with the competitiveness of the group over the first 2 weeks of the year, especially with what they've gone through this week. I mean, it was horrible having to lose all those players. Gee, I'll tell you what, if you throw them back into the team, they'll look a whole lot better, won't they? Because they got some good signs today out of Luke Shuey, really good signs out of Willie Rioli today. I thought was terrific. Also, Liam Ryan at times was really strong as well. So, yeah, they've got some talent, there's no doubt. You bring these other players back in a couple of weeks, they mightn't be the side going as badly by the end of the year as a lot of people seem to think they will.
So a quick update in the other game going on at the moment, live at the MCG. Richmond have kicked their first goal. They kicked 5 behinds to start, 1-5-11, and at the GWS Giants 1-2-8, so just ticked over quarter time at the MCG. Fremantle and St Kilda to come from the west in around about an hour's time. So the Roos just spreading a bit of love with the footies to the crowd, and they'll head down to the rooms. We'll get some reaction from inside North Melbourne very, very shortly. We've got our awards to come, of course. We might just look at all the key numbers of the day for Safety Steel Sheds. Just the major individual stars.
Yeah, Hugh Greenwood led the way in terms of disposals, 29 disposals, 10 tackles and 9 clearances. Also had 4 inside 50s. Jack Zeeble, now he knocks up getting the ball, he takes the kick-ins, and he does get a lot of kicks down in the back half. He had 29 and 14 marks. Aaron Hall, 26 and 7 marks. He's the one who sort of creates and gets the metres gained for the Roos. He had 26.
How many metres gains did he have today? What was his metres gained?
He was second overall. Zeeble topped him. He was about 550 metres gain, Aaron Hall. Josh Walker had 21. He was solid down back, 8 marks. Horn Francis ended up with 20 and 4 tackles. Luke McDonald had 20. Powell had 20 as well.
So the Roos just taking a few moments. I mean, their fans haven't been able to get to the footy like so many footy fans, which is great for them. They're trying to get their membership up, Pickers, to around that, 50,000 mark.
Yeah, which would be good if they could. They're not ever going to be a big football club as far as 100,000 members, whatever, but they know what they are. And it's good to see all the players getting around their fans, which is great.
So we'll go inside the North Melbourne rooms very, very shortly. West Coast players still out on the ground at the moment. Luke Shuey doing a couple of interviews. Just great to see him back too. And you just hope now, Josh, I mean, he can just get some continuity back. He's had so many stop-start, the best part of the last, year or two.
Yeah, they would have been nervous, West Coast, wouldn't they? Shuey, Darling, clearly Petrovski, Seaton. They've had to put guys out in the park who ultimately they may have wanted to get a week or 2 weeks of waffle footy or more training and more load into them. They've just had to put them out there. And the good thing is, particularly for Shuey, is he gets through and he gets that little bit stronger and more confident in his body, and they'll all be better for the run.
Had the 23 disposals this afternoon, laid the 9 tackles. Luke Shuey, he leads his team off the ground. Adam Simpson out there with the players. Unprecedented. The amount of outs due to the COVID situation we're in, and I'll be hoping they can get a lot of those stars. Redden and Natanui, Oscar Allen, Cripps, Kennedy, Barris not playing, Sheed out of the lineup today. It's a fair bit of your star quality. We're about to listen to the Roos belled out their song in the rooms. They'll be pretty happy to get a nice early season win. Try and launch a foundation. A mixture of their experience still playing a big part in this youth that they've been building for the best part of the last 3 years. Nick Larkey, well, he looks like he is going to be an absolute star of the competition. 6, and continues to add to his good, young, impressive resume. Here's the Roos with a few of the youngsters in the middle and even an Aiden Core belting out a win for the first time. Plenty of spirit in the Roos rooms, as you would expect.
It's a good build-up, isn't it, to the song? That takes a
I
while.
love that first bit.
Yeah, I love the first bit too.
Yeah. One of the good songs at the comp. They'd be wanting to sing that a few more times in 2022. So we'll get down from some reaction immediately. Although the Roos might go into a team meeting. In fact, they're going to go into a team meeting, I'm told. So what we'll do is squeeze in a break. We'll come back with a chat in the Roos rooms and go through all our awards on an afternoon where North Melbourne prevailed by 15 points here on AFL Nation.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Tyre Power, your match day favourites for tyre safety.
When the job needs doing,
that's Ace.
When you need it fast,
that's Ace.
When it's Ace Gutters, it's built to last.
As a roofing plumber working on an estate, I can't afford to be sitting around waiting for gutters, fascias and downpipes to be delivered. That's why I've always used Ace Gutters. If I order a stocked item by 5 a.m. that morning, I know I'll get it the same day.
When it's Ace Gutters, it's built to last.
Call 9586 4888 or log on to acegutters.com.au.
Here's a friendly reminder from SEN and Bendix Brakes. School zone hours are now in effect. Put your foot down with confidence in school zones with Bendix Brakes, the market-leading brake pads to match your driving style. Learn more at bendix.com.au.
SMEG double your cashback sale on now at Designer Appliances. Get up to $1,000 cash card plus up to $1,000 Visa gift card on selected SMEG appliances. Designer Appliances, Bendigo, Camberwell, Heidelberg, Rosebud and Wantirna South.
If you're running your own business, you're an all-in-one kind of person. You're the CEO, the marketing director and the bookkeeper. The buck stops with you. Makes sense then that you should use a payment solution that helps make getting paid easier. Easy Debit is the all-in-one payment solution. Whether it's direct debit for recurring or subscription payments, BPay for invoicing, FPOS, phone or online payments. When it comes to dollars, it just makes sense. Easy Debit. Payments done in one. Search EZI Debit today.
Oh, a good mark to Wilson. He plays on at full pace and kicks a beauty to Thomas. Thomas gives off to Harris. Harris closes in on 50, but wait, he's tackled by Smith. Or is it Williams? Williams scrabbles for the ball, kicks it to a guy in blue, who kicks it to some other guy in blue. Now some tall bloke has the ball. He kicks it to an even taller bloke. Kick, handball, kick.
Don't miss the best bits. You won't miss a moment if you drink Wise. Proudly brought to you by Drinkwise.
Mate, go and grab the drill. It's in the van.
Yep. Where is it?
Past the shelves and the generator.
Now where?
Keep walking till you reach the racks, then climb the ladder.
Got it.
If the Hyundai Staria Load had any more space, it'd come with a map. And now ABN holders can pick up all that space for $47,990 drive away. T's and C's apply. Visit Hyundai.com.au for details. Imagine that. Hyundai.
Which oil has been trusted for over 150 years? Home mechanics who change their own oil, they know. Professionals who service their own car at home, they know. Car lovers who want the best for their pride and joy, they know. And when you really think about it, you know. Valvoline, the original engine oil.
We should all save 000 calls and ambulances for emergencies because there are alternatives. If you feel unwell or have a minor injury, there's your local GP. You can see a pharmacist for questions on general health, and you can always ring Nurse on Call at 1300 606024 for immediate advice 24/7. So think about how you can help save lives by saving 000 calls for emergencies. Find out more at betterhealth.vic.gov.au.
Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
It happens on 3.
Level 3 Forest Hill Chase is your local destination for good food, fun and entertainment. Birdie's Mini Golf and Sports Bar is the perfect place to watch all your favourite sports on the big screen. 12 beers on tap, live music and a rock star menu. Make Birdie's Mini Golf and Sports Bar your new local to eat, drink and play. Level 3 Forest Hill Chase is where it's at. Best parking, Level 3.
It happens on 3. Forest Hill Chase.
ForestHillChase.com.au.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. For all your tiling needs, in stock now.
Stadium this afternoon, a win for North Melbourne, 10-14-74. It was a hard-fought win for the Roos over the West Coast Eagles, 8-11-59. Had that major edge in contested possessions today, plus 27. And then they did use the ball a little bit more effectively. The Roos will have one of their stars, Hugh Greenwood, with us in the rooms in just a couple of moments. Brett Phillips alongside Josh Jenkins and Liam Pickering. A quick update, just a goal apiece. Beautiful sunshine at the MCG, but been tough to score goals early. Richmond 1-5-11, leading the GWS Giants 1-2-8. And we're into the second quarter of that contest.
It's a little light on for fans there as well.
Just a little.
Probably thought a nice day like that, they'd get a good crowd there this afternoon.
Let's get into the Roos rooms, Jensen, have a chat with Hugh Greenwood, who at the start of the year we didn't expect to see in North Melbourne colours after last year, but things in footy happen in funny ways sometimes, but making the most of being in the North Melbourne midfield. Hugh, congratulations. Nice to get a win for this young group in the early part of the year.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Yeah, it is. Obviously, West Coast coming in under really difficult circumstances and situations, but we know how hard it is to win in this competition, so we'll certainly take it. So obviously we had our work cut out, and but obviously as a group we haven't experienced a whole lot of wins the last couple of years, so we'll certainly enjoy it. But it was a pretty spirited game in the end, and yeah, it was a tough one.
Huey, Josh Jenkins here, mate.
Hey, JJ.
Hope all is well. What was the general feeling across the game when you came together at quarter time, half time, after goals? Was there any sense of frustration, because it was one of those games where you expected to win, everyone thought you should win? Was there any level of sort of frustration that you couldn't blow West Coast away, or was it pretty much business as usual throughout?
No, that's what we expected to get. When you look at the core of the group that was still out there, you've still got eight or nine premiership players, and you know, dangerous with nothing to lose. So we knew it was going to be a slog and a grind. They kicked a couple of goals in red time, which was, I guess, caused a little bit of frustration, but we never expected to come in here and for them to roll over. So as I said before, JJ, they made it hard on us, and they should be really proud. Obviously, we're really proud to come away with the win as well.
And Hugh, you lost a couple of soldiers along the way. What's there any update on how Taron is in particular, and Luke?
I haven't seen Tassie yet, actually. LDU seems like he's in good spirits, but the Vaso and the head tape got a fair run today. Yeah. There was a fair bit of blood on the ground, but so we slogged away. Obviously, those guys going down early. Some guys like Kurt and Powley had to come inside, and I thought they did a really good job. So we'll address those guys during the week. I'm assuming if it's concussion, they won't obviously come to Brizzy, but I thought the guys, the next men up, were really, really important for us.
It was very important to get not very important, but it's important to get a win any game, but always good to get a win for your first gamers, and in this case his second gamer in Jason Horn-France. He'd be pretty happy. He was pretty good today.
He was very good. I think some of the things, obviously when he gets the footy, he was really good, but I thought some of his chase stuff, his second effort stuff, was what really stood out for Jace. And as I said, when Tassie and when LDU went down, we went to that next man up, and I thought he came in and gave us some really good stuff, which we've seen at trainings, and now the AFL gets to have a really good look at as well. So we're really pumped with his offensive stuff, but I thought his defensive stuff was a real standout for us tonight.
44 hit-outs to 13. Huey, you were able to get at the feet of Big Cherry and Goldstein and get plenty of clearances. You must have enjoyed the silver service today.
Yeah, it was good. Played with it. I was rucking this time last year when we lost Witter and Zach Smith, so it's good to sit underneath Goldie and X and get that silver service. So we as a midfield group, we feel like we're really gelling. We really feel like it's a strength, knowing we still got some cavalry to come back in Cunners and Jed and Will Phil later in the year. So we feel like our midfield group is really, really competitive, and as time goes on, we're going to be pretty dangerous in there, JJ.
How's the move been? It was a pretty swift process. It was a sort of a weekend sort of decision. Had some insight into the whole situation, and it happened really quickly, and you had to make a really swift decision on your feet to change clubs, which is not an easy decision to make. But how have you fitted in? Obviously, footy's come around now, and that's the easy part. But have you settled in? You and the family have settled in down here in Melbourne?
Yeah, I know Hannah was in Kirst's year. We got some advice from you guys, so Melbourne's been good. We're not quite settled yet. obviously with it being on short notice, but we love Melbourne, and experiencing footy in Melbourne is you just can't replicate it. So we're excited to be here. We've got a lot of friends and family here in Melbourne. So now that footy started, we feel like we're settled in, and the club's been really supportive under the circumstances. Obviously, everything happened really quickly, but I'm really excited to be a part of this group and help out where I can.
What's the most noticeable difference coming from being part of a young emerging Gold Coast group to a young emerging North Melbourne group inside the four walls?
Yeah, well, you said it there. It's quite similar in that regard. It's a young and exciting and motivated group. I guess the difference is, to be honest, I can't do too much. I haven't been here for too long. Like I said, it's two young, really exciting groups. But I guess the pressure of these guys being in Melbourne, playing footy in Melbourne, you can really sense that. I think on the Goldie, guys were able to get away and take their minds off footy, whereas it's footy here in Melbourne. So there's some guys here that really live and breathe it, and it's really fun to be a part of.
And just to look up the ground as a midfielder, I mean, we're loving what Nick Larkey's producing. He looks like any time the ball gets in his area, he's either going to clunk it, he's going to bring it to ground, he's going to make something happen. And when you're a midfielder, you've played with some good young emerging key forwards in your time and experienced forwards in footy. But how do you rate this young guy?
Is that where you want me to pump up JJ?
Yeah,
is that where you're leading with that?
I was sort of just
that was a segue. Yes, I've been very lucky to play with some really, really, really agile young explosive key forwards in Jenkins and King and Walker, and now Larkey. So I've been very gifted in that area. If I can, as my style is just throw it on the boot and let those guys go to work. So I've been pretty lucky, and Sylvie got on the end of a few today, and really stood up and kicked one late on a set shot that, as a leader, we really admire from him. So he had a really good day, but he got on the end of some work that the boys up the ground did, and the other forwards blocked and got to work. So we're seeing from Sylvie what we've been seeing at training and games, and it's really exciting.
Now, you won't really care about this, Huey, because your job is to look at the next opponent. You probably don't even know who you play next, but you do have a tough run. You go to Brisbane and then to Sydney immediately. Dogs, Cats and Blues. So whilst it was important to get this win underway, you square the ledger at 1-1. You must know or must feel that you've got a massive month ahead.
Yeah, as we said, we needed to get one. We felt like we let one slip last week, and obviously this was a really important one to get done today, knowing that we've got a tough stretch coming up, but we'll hit the road, assuming with nothing to lose. So obviously we'll lose a few soldiers, which will hurt, but we'll get guys coming in and stepping up. And when you get on the road, who knows what happens. But as you said, we've got a pretty tough stretch coming up, but we're excited at the challenge.
Generous chat, Hugh. We really appreciate it, mate. Well done today. Enjoy the spoils of today and to work from tomorrow. Obviously preparing for next week. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Good chatting with you.
Hugh Greenwood, just doing what he does today in the clinches.
Yeah. He's
winning the tough footy.
Straight away, he felt like he belonged when he came to Adelaide as a Category B rookie. David Noble was the list manager who went to New Mexico and watched him play basketball in the pit, the underground basketball arena in New Mexico. And as soon as he turned up, he just fit in. He just sort of understands sport, professional sport, how to fit in, how to look after yourself, how to prepare yourself, and he's a willing worker for a guy who played basketball. He loves tackling. He loves all the hard physical stuff. He hasn't got the greatest skills, and he doesn't cover the ground as good as some, but he just knows how to get the ball, and he knows how to tackle.
Well, he gets his nose onto the ball, doesn't he? He puts his head over it, and that's how he wins his footy. Like, he's a contested animal, as you said, and it helps that he's a midfielder that wants to tackle, because it's really a big part of playing in the midfield now, especially playing inside mid.
Did you like that mix today? Just obviously, we sort of touched on it a few times, leaving Coleman Jones out. Larkey was so dominant in the air, and Goldstein looks comfortable when he goes forward. I'm loving Jerry in the ruck. I think he's working in the air, but that's the modern ruckman, isn't it? Now, going after it and either getting an extra possession or just clearing a pack for the smalls.
He was good. 20 disposals for Cherry. He gets after it, as you said, 75% efficiency. So follows up at ground level, had 24 hit-outs and 5 clearances. And that's what we see from the good ruckman as well these days. They get 5, 6, 7 clearances around the footy. So he was good. Goldstein was serviceable. He only had 8 touches, but he was good with his ruck work. He was good ahead and behind the ball on occasion. That's going to be the interesting thing to follow with North. what they sort of do with Goldstein, they're going to be desperate to get games into Coleman Jones, and we've seen he's too good for VFL footy. He's playing about now, I think. So if he kicks 4 or 5 and continues to knock the door down, Cherry's going to be there for the long haul. What are they going to do with that mix?
Now, we talked a lot today about when they had possession in the back half, just how they were trying to work it out. A little bit too much sideways. I mean, what sort of discussion do you think they'll have internally about that? Because obviously it's a work in progress, their game style.
It is, Pickers, isn't it? Because there are occasions when you thought, take the territory, give your tall forwards and your rucks an opportunity to compete, move the ball 50, 60 metres, and they didn't, and they just chipped it around. And at the end of the game, you see players, 25, 26, 27 touches. They don't mean that much. And we saw that last night with Port. Their mids, they all had 35. They get blown off the park because they don't hurt you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they looked their most dangerous, North Melbourne, when Hall and these guys were attacking through the halfback line. The others, they're getting possession, but they're kicking sideways. So when they're going fast, they look a really dangerous commodity. When they're going slow, they look really shaky to me.
Well, Hall can't play that way of just chipping Kenny. His immediate thought is to take off, to zigzag, to cut, change the angle.
Exactly, yeah.
Take the punt.
Well, he makes the game move, Hall, because that's what he does. Whereas some of the other boys in defence, and Zeb was probably a bit like this, they're just banging it down the line. Like, that's what they do. That's their game, banging it down the line, which is okay if you're defending. But if you are trying to generate a score, you're not going to get too many scores doing it that way.
And I think if they want to bring more people into the venue, it wasn't a big crowd today. We'll get the official number later. It was 15, 18,000 maybe. If they want to bring people to the game, play fast, score, look to score, be exciting. They have got some personnel who can play that way. So try and play that way. And even if you don't win, at least you see exciting footy.
So, if you're just turning on the radio, 15-point win for North today, 10-14-74 to 8-11-59. A few awards to hand out before we head to Fremantle and St Kilda. Quick update at the MCG. So the Tigers now starting to put some scoreboard efficiency on board in the second term. 4-6-30, 2-3, 15. They kick 5 behinds to start the game. So now starting to convert the Tigers, leading it by 15 points. About 11 minutes to play the second quarter of that game. Freo and St Kilda, as I said, to come a little bit later on. For West Coast, this will hopefully be a one-off for them, but who knows what will transpire in their camp with all the close contacts and the players that have had to sit out with the health and safety protocols today, whether they will come back in immediately, how that all is going to pan out during the week, but an analysis of them today and how they stacked up.
I mean, they go home empty-handed somewhat, but I think they can be very proud of their efforts. You think back to when they were in the hub a couple of years ago on the Gold Coast, and they were completely listless. They didn't even really want to be there. All the messaging coming out of their camp was the fact that they were hard done by. This is what you want to see from them. Everyone acknowledges that they've had to put out a team that has never been seen before. We've never seen guys have to basically meet each other the day before the game and travel, differently and all those sorts of things, and we understand that. But they put forth a great effort. They had opportunities to be in the game and competing for the win late in the game. They couldn't quite capitalise, and ultimately a lack of cattle probably hurt them. But to only go down by 15 points, I think they should be proud of themselves. And the reality is they're probably going to have to do it maybe 2 or 3 more times before sort of COVID starts to come through and then hopefully depart their team.
What was the upside of some of those younger guys that have clearly got some earlier exposure than they normally would? I mean, just to watch the two Williams guys, with Jack Williams wearing 34, Bailey's played some senior footy before, but I thought both in the ruck sort of, competed pretty well around the ground. We got some exposure to Patrick Nation, a new Guernsey, but really starved of senior opportunities at Richmond through a great period of their footy club. What did you like? Is there something that stood out there for those younger guys on a bigger stage for some of them?
I didn't mind. I thought Bailey Williams was good. Now, I don't reckon he's a ruckman. I reckon he's probably going to be picked as a forward ruckman who can pinch hit. And that's a valuable position. If you can, not many teams want to play 2 genuine ruckmen. They want to play a ruck who plays 80, 85%, and then they want to play a forward ruck. So I thought he showed a bit. He's quite athletic. He's nice by foot. He kicks it okay. So he showed a bit, 9 disposals.
I like the other bloke.
The other Williams.
Yeah, I did. I thought he was pretty good.
Jack.
Yeah, I thought he showed a bit today.
So there's a bit there. I thought Naish was good, as you said, 21 disposals. He showed a few signs. He turned the ball over a few times, but he went for his kicks. He's got speed. He's got something he might be able to build a bit of a career on the wing or half forward. So there were a couple of guys for them who did okay. And I mean, Aaron Black, it was great to see. He's not necessarily a young guy, but great for him to get an opportunity at AFL level after playing so much good waffle footy.
Indeed. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll go through our awards and wrap up everything that's happening here at Marvel Stadium. I think we might be the only people left in the whole stadium. She's exited pretty quickly. North by 15 points. Our analysis and our awards to come next.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. For all your tiling needs, in stock now.
Smeg double your cashback sale on now at Designer Appliances. Get up to $1,000 cash card plus up to $1,000 Visa gift card on selected Smeg appliances. Designer Appliances, Bendigo, Camberwell, Heidelberg, Rosebud and Wantirna South.
For ultimate tyre safety this season, go and see Tyre Power during their store-wide super sale now on. Your number one destination on Google Maps for safety, Tyre Power is ready to help your family drive safe on the roads. Next road trip, make Tyre Power your first stop and find out why Tyre Power is Australia's best. During the store-wide super sale on now, buy 3 get 1 free on selected Kumho passenger and SUV tyres. Each Tyre Power is 100% independent and locally owned. Find your Aussie local at tyrepower.com.au.
When my mates bring their plus ones, who bring their plus ones, we're gonna need more McNugs delivered.
McDelivery! Get dinner delivered with the 40 chicken McNugget pack and new spicy sticky barbecue sauce from Macca's. With delivery available at select locations.
Sustained performance in footy is more than just one great game. It's about playing consistently, game after game, season after season. Host Plus delivers strong performance over the long term, with top returns over 20 years. A top-performing super fund over the long term, that's a plus. Search, compare, Host Plus today.
Super Ratings SR50 Balanced Index, December 2021. General advice only. Consider the relevant Host Plus PDS and TMD at hostplus.com.au before deciding if Host Plus is appropriate for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Ready to challenge yourself on a premier Peter Thompson golf course? With its immaculate fairways, slick greens and new fleet of carts fitted with GPS, Mandalay is the must-play course in Melbourne's north. And Mandalay is more than just a round of golf. With talented chefs and fully appointed bar, you can settle in on the terrace for a delicious meal and cold one after your round. The course is looking great, so take an easy freeway drive to Mandalay. Visit clubmandalay.com.au to book a tea time.
Beloved Pies. It's true. I haven't watched every single Collingwood game. I didn't even know it was possible. But I have KO now. And it's opened my eyes to Pendlebury! Every game of every round with no ad breaks in play. Finally, I see what I've been missing. Hoskin Elliott! Please forgive me. Your biggest fan, Gary.
Never miss a moment of the team you love with KO Sports.
Hot Pies!
So the garden tap connects to the tap adapter. The tap adapter connects to the tap timer. The tap timer connects to the hose connector. The hose connector connects to the Pope hose. The Pope hose connects to a sprinkler. Keeping your garden green is easy with Pope's Permafit Connection no-leak garden hoses.
And that's how your garden grows.
Make the connection with Pope Garden Watering Systems. Available at Bunnings Warehouse.
So you're swiping right on dating apps, only to find they're not into dogs? That's a doggy deal breaker right there. Download Puppy Lovers, a fun and simple dating app for dog lovers like you. It's a community for dog owners to meet, date, and find all things dogs, with 10% of all our proceeds donated to animal charities. It's PUPPI Lovers. No need for the Y, just PUPPI Lovers. Download Australia's first dating app for dog lovers like you. Available on Google Play and the App Store.
Welcome your every sense to the all-new Lexus NX. Featuring striking new looks and thoughtful technology, the NX has been crafted for exhilaration. Available in petrol, hybrid or plug-in for the ultimate flexibility and efficiency. Lexus NX allows you to feel more of every moment. Test drive today at Lexus of Brighton, 99 Nepean Highway. LMCT 9897.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. For all your tiling needs, in stock now.
10-14-74 over the West Coast Eagles, 8-11-59 here at Marvel Stadium. Update at the MCG with about 7 minutes to play to half-time. It is Richmond 5-6-36 leading the GWS Giants 3-5-23. Fremantle St Kilda to come tonight, of course, to round out round number 2. A day where Jack Siebel had 29, Hugh Greenwood, we've spoken to him, had 29. Aaron Hall had the 26. We should see who's in the votes today. Luke Shuey, 23. Led the way in his comeback game for the Eagles. Witherden had 21, turned a few over in the back half. Nacious, we mentioned, had the 21. Let's go through a few of our awards to round out our day here. MEGT Rookie of the Day, your local apprenticeship experts.
Number one pick has to be Horn Francis. 20 disposals, 4 marks and 4 tackles. He looks lively. He's a good athlete. He looks like he's got a nice right foot on him as well. So Jason Horn Francis.
And you observed the socks as well, Josh.
Yeah, he's got I call it the 2/3 sock up. I'm labelling it. He hasn't fully committed yet, so that's how he rolls. He might turn it into a thing.
Yeah. But I mean, he just looks good.
He looks a player, doesn't
he? Every time he goes near the footy,
he's been playing, as Picker said earlier, he's been playing at a level not far off AFL footy for a couple of years and playing really well. He plays down there with Bryce Gibbs and a few other guys who have played plenty of AFL footy, so he's basically been exposed to it for 2 years.
MEGT supporting employers and apprentices for over 40 years. What about some player power ratings? For Red Energy, owned by Snowy Hydro, a renewable energy leader.
Yeah, Jack, the fantasy piglet. Zeeble, 127 ranking points, 29 disposals, 14 marks. Hugh Greenwood, though, not far behind him on 120. Larkey, 110. And for the Eagles, Luke Shuey, 103. Liam Duggan was a good player on 92 as well.
It was good. Left boot off half-back and drifted forward and kicked a nice goal.
It was a thumping goal,
doesn't happen too often in his career, getting forward like that. Hanger of the day, hangmytv.com.au, because that's what they do.
Well, we're not sure whether it resulted or kick-started his sore ribs, but Taron Thomas took a nice mark here in front of us in the second quarter, landed heavily on his back and winded himself. Looks like he received a kick in the guts as well. He's gone off to hospital, but he certainly took a nice big hanger, the hanger of the day, but and paid the price for it.
Yeah, we'll get a continued update on that over the next few hours. We know that if we just look at our injury report for Star 21, discover the difference. Ainsworth was subbed out for the Eagles with injury, and that's when who came in?
Mountford came into the game,
31.
and Davies Uniacke as well. He'll be in the concussion protocol, and he'll miss the game at Brisbane next week.
Tackler of the game for Toro. Count on Toro to get the job done.
Mr. Greenwood, we spoke to him after the game, had 29 touches, but importantly as well, and that's his role. He had 10 tackles, so he's always around the footy. And he's always getting at the opposition. So 10 tackles for Hugh Greenwood.
He's a big body, isn't he? 191 centimetres, and really likes the ferocious stuff in close.
You just can't pin him, can you? He's always able to.
He's learned pretty quickly for a bloke that didn't play football really that much as a kid. He's been able to get your hands over the top of the tackler when he's being tackled and release the ball, which is a real skill.
No doubt. Unmissable moments for Drink Wise. Choose to drink wise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise.
Well, basically everything Willie Rioli did was unmissable. The tunnel ball between the legs, the 2 explosive snaps on goal, which were both goals in the first quarter. He was brilliant. Every time he touched the footy, he looked like doing something good for the Eagles, and he did that. And in the end, 18 disposals, 4 marks and 4 goals. He threatened to take the game away from North at stages, so he was completely unmissable today.
The other classy player inside 50, Liam Ryan, just a little bit out of sorts today. He missed a couple of opportunities, whether it was on goal or just a couple of balls that didn't quite hit the target.
Yeah, he got plenty of the footy, 17 disposals. He's not traditionally a large winner of the footy, but took the 6 marks. But, 0 goals, 3. Had 2 shots, two and a half shots that he really should have taken in the fourth quarter, which would have made this much more interesting. But if those 2 can get 17, 18 touches most weeks, the Eagles are going to be in games.
Let's get some votes for the AFL Nation's Player of the Year for Whirlpool, your leader in kitchen and laundry appliances.
All right, my first time doing this, Liam, so just go easy, go steady.
Don't just pick your mates, though. Don't just pick your mates.
I did play at this end of the ground, so I'm going to be prone to the big boys kicking goals, but 16 disposals, 7 marks. Most of those were inside 50. 6 of those were inside 50. 3 contested marks, 6 goals, 3. Nicholas Larkey gets the maximum.
You started with 3 before 1.
Oh, is that all right or not?
Oh, it's okay, but it's a weird way to do it.
We probably should have had a meeting about this.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
We haven't had any other meetings. So
You've got to go, all right, 1 vote to this bloke, 2 votes. We know you've got the 3s
We like to build it up, but that's okay.
I wanted to leave it with my mate last. Do you want me to start at the other end?
No, you do it.
Is that where you normally start the votes? Yeah.
In the middle. Number 2, we spoke about 2 votes, Willie Rioli, because, as I said just a few minutes ago, he threatened to take the game away from North. He didn't have enough mates, but 18 disposals and 4 goals was an excellent performance from Willie Rioli. And remembering, he hasn't played a lot of footy for the past couple of years because he was rubbed out. So he gets 2. And then 29 disposals, 9 clearances and 10 tackles, Hugh Greenwood. We've got to get one of those midfielders in there as well. So Larkey, Rioli and Greenwood. And the next time I do one of these games, if I get it next time, I'll be sure to start with 1 and go up from there.
That's the way to do it. Yeah.
Would make sense.
You like those votes figures?
Yeah, I did. That's exactly where I would have gone.
Okay.
I would have gone.
Would have started at 1.
I would have done it probably a bit more excitingly, but and just give it a bit of a build-up and all that. But, 1 vote, I would say definitely Hugh Graham and Willie Rioli was clearly West Coast best player, and I agree with you. Big Larky, 6 big ones, that'll do, mate.
Let's give a ladder update for 40 Winks. If you're serious about sleep, buy any 40 Winks My Side mattress to get your partner's side free, if you don't mind. Hawthorn on top of the table. Big win last night. Percentage 173.7, 8 points. Collingwood on 8 points, 141.3. Sydney on 8, 129.6. Melbourne fourth, 8 points, 127.9 their percentage. Brisbane also on 8 points, 122.9. Carlton on 8, 122.3. Geelong 4 points, 120.1. Gold Coast round out the 8 as we speak, 108.6 their percentage. So the other winners, Fremantle and North Melbourne, in 9th and 10th place respectively. Then St Kilda, the Giants, Western Bulldogs, West Coast Eagles, Adelaide, Richmond, Essendon. Port Adelaide bringing up the rear at this stage. Their percentage just 62.5. So a bit more to play out there as the 2 games complete this afternoon. It's currently the Tigers by 14 points over the Giants. So closing in on half-time of that game, and Fremantle and St Kilda to come. So whilst we've got a few more minutes on air, gents, I suppose just our takeaways from the round so far and this early part of the season so far.
Well, round 2, 2022 will always be about Lance Franklin, but there's almost a bit as much happening off the field this week. We've seen some poor losses from the 2 Adelaide teams. We didn't necessarily. I don't think we'll put this game in the. I don't
think we'll be rushing home to rewatch it.
No, I don't think so. I don't even think the coaches will enjoy going back through this and coding the game. But I think the round's always going to belong to Mr. Franklin, who put through goal number 1,000 on Friday night.
I think on paper that it looked like the best 2 games were going to be the Thursday, Friday nights, and that's how they turned out to be. They were clearly the best 2 games. And the Swans are playing as good a footy as anybody at the moment.
I was going to ask you about that, Pickett. We're getting towards the last chapter of the Buddy contract, this last stanza of it. Can it marry up with a premiership?
Yep, I think they're right in the window. Absolutely, I do. Provided they don't get a lot of injuries. I think there's no reason why they won't be right there when the whips are cracking at the end of the year. They've got some serious footballers.
Got the Dogs Thursday night down here, right here at Marvel Stadium. That'll be a good game. Good test for the Dogs too.
Do they need a win?
Zipping free if they can't get over the Swannies.
Recover from 0 and 3.
A long way back from 0-3. That's exactly right.
We've got the Friday doubleheader next week. We've got the D's, Benny Lyons smiling in the background. The D's and the Dons into the showdown. Friday night showdown, the first ever. So that's an 8:20 start.
Okay, so what time's the first game?
7:20, so they're going to overlap.
Yep. Well, we have an overlapping game.
It's going to be playing.
That makes no sense.
I don't mind the. We've basically sort of spread them out. I don't mind flicking between games.
Well, the NRL's always played. Yeah. They always played a couple of games on a Friday night. The NRL.
Yes, they have. Yeah, they play an early one. Sometimes play an early one over in New Zealand.
Yeah. So AFLW Grand Final, I'm hearing.
Right.
It's as a curtain raiser, I think.
Right.
Yep. So they're both good games.
Sense.
Oh, yeah, there's a 110 game, and then you've got the 7:25. Oh, that's not this week.
Yeah, next week. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Right.
That's Saturday.
Yep. So leaving that window open.
Right.
The AFLW.
It takes the spot on the Saturday.
See whether we can flip between 2 games on a Friday night. We pick which one's any good.
What was that final score in the AFLW this afternoon?
Pretty comfortable win.
Monitoring Brisbane. That game. Brisbane, of course.
Brisbane won by 50 points. 70-20 in the end. 10-10 to 3-2.
Okay, I'm hearing the music. Are we getting it now?
Yeah, we're out of here.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, we're out of here.
All right, we're done. Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Pickers.
Good on you, BP.
Thanks,
Boys.
Ben.
Well,
Thanks,
JJ.
Serge. Nicely done. North Melbourne win it by 15 points this afternoon. Fremantle St Kilda to come. Richmond leading the Giants by 14. We'll talk to you next time at the footy here on AFL Nation.